I'm waiting for Aphectz, baby. Yes. All right. So many good things. You guys are already popping in here. I love it. You want this chair? You know, it's so weird. I had an awesome chair. Gosh dang it. I love you guys. All right. Man. Okay. So we're going to be talking about a lot more things in preparation for what's coming. Okay. But I think so. One thing that I want to be sure and preface here is that until these things actually go live and actually happen, profession 10 level quests, green egg pets. So the hatching of the green eggs is just going to be nuts on tiers, these things. But until that comes, we're going to have a lot of volatility, likely. We might skiller. Yes. We might, and there's very low liquidity still. So it won't, somebody, you know, if tiers keep pumping up too much, all right, somebody might go in there and just dump a bunch. Okay, where are we at now? And Aphectz should come in any second. Okay, it's come down today some. And as far as tiers go, let's take a look at adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. Also, tomorrow, Crypto Baby H. We pushed it back one day. Big giveaway tomorrow, exactly in 24 hours from now. Tomorrow night, after the game, we might even, I don't know, might even try and go a bit earlier for people. But 10:45 p.m. Eastern time, Crypto Baby H has a lot of things with the Unity Guild that she wants to talk about, different things they're doing. You know, she's helped bring in a lot of new people into the ecosystem, get them going on a MetaMask wallet, get them, you know, get them going on summoning, get their first hero, all that. They have a mentor program, and she's even got more going. So it's awesome what's going on there with Crypto Baby H, the Unity Guild. And so Aphectz is coming on. We're going to talk about how to prep for this up and coming market. It might be volatile. There's a lot of risk also, you know, that a lot of people have mentioned, but especially through the end of this month, there's no telling what can happen. There's no telling what can happen. Oh, tiers are up even more today. So, you know, I don't think it's a bad idea to dollar cost average. Okay. But until we actually have the end game stuff happening in the game, it's all speculation until it's actually here. And it's just out of the natural demand for these items and these things that I think we will absolutely see a move and this whole ecosystem explode unlike we've ever seen anything in this ecosystem, just because of the sheer in-game demand for these things and the lack thereof. So supply and demand, there's not enough supply, even close to enough supply of these things to meet the demand. And that is a good thing. It's the big brains of Hubert and all the people that have been suffering through the bear market, hanging in there, which is just, you know, less than 1% of what was once here. All of us that have been hanging in there, and we kept at it, are going to be richly rewarded, I believe. And I think it's coming as soon as these things drop. Levi, you're nuts. Oh, so Aphectz, yes, my man.
Yeah, baby.
From another mother.
What's good, bro?
Is where there's just, I've got a few people, several people, but there's a few people in this ecosystem where it's like we are brothers. There's just big brain.
Be on, man.
He's smart dude, and he's amazing. Aphectz, how are you doing tonight, man?
Good. Happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Okay. So what do you think? First of all, do you have any pushback or any disagreement with anything I said last night on the video? Let's start there.
Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I'm back. Okay. As far as push, I don't know what last night was just general market talk. One thing I just want to say just about just the market in DeFi Kingdoms is that in a bear market, right? There's always multiple ways to win, especially in an ecosystem like this, right? Okay, there's people that summon for abilities. You got Mythic Squad that does abilities and pets, right? You got people that only summon dreads and they take the 37% chance risk and they turn like common dreads to rares and then rares to legendaries
Yep.
pluses, right?
Yep.
There's people that Cyrus, he was the first person that I know to like give out the floor hero strategy. A lot of whales were already doing the floor hero strategy like 2 months ago when it was like 30 to 33 crystal. And then I asked him, I DM'd him, I'm like, yo, can you talk about the strategy, how you making so much crystal? And he explained it to me. So I'm like, okay. The summoning event was going on for Crystalvale. So I'm like, why don't I just kill two birds with one stone? Start the event and build my floor hero army, right?
Yep.
So that's what I did. There's just multiple strategies that everybody is doing. Like if you look right now, right? After Hubert's AMA, right?
Yes.
Have you seen the pet hatchery in Discord? It is bonkers with the amount of people that have been hatching pets since that AMA. And now, if you look, since like the last recent couple streams of you, Mythic Squad, and everybody, people have been buying the floor for rare pets with 2-star rare and 2-star combat bonuses, and that has pushed up from 75 all the way to about 140.
Seriously?
Yes, in the last like week.
No.
So 2-star rare with 2-star. So it has two. It's the 4-star rares. So they have 2 profession bonus and 2 common bonus, and they're rares. It was me and Beaver when I was on Mythic Squad. We talked about how much value those were. And that was when they were like 75. We checked, they were like, and now they're like up to like 140. It's the 2 stars. Keep going.
Well, and it wasn't long ago that even just
those were like 45, 50. Like they weren't that much either. And then now they're like 70. Yeah, even less at one point. But if you go to the 2-star ones, and we were talking about how those had the most value at like 75.
Yeah.
And now if you go to the 2-star ones, look, it's 2-star combat and 2-star profession.
Dang.
Look, you don't even find them. They're like they have been swept off the market. So my thing with this is that now there's a bunch of people hatching. There's a bunch of people booning and gracing. Oh, this is the only pushback that I have, right? I'm a booner now, right? I'm a booner now. I'm a boon guy now. I used to be a gracer.
Me too.
Yeah, I used to be a gracer.
Right.
But now, with like 2 weeks ago, I was booning crazy. I'm kind of out of the pet game right now, just a little bit, because I feel like it's a look at 199 floor right there, right?
That's the floor.
And it was literally 75 about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. So right now, the reason why this is probably the only pushback that I'll have, there is a case for grace now because of how high these are, because the percentage for rares and boons are about 15 and 20%. So if you go and you're only trying to really hit these rares, if you grace them, you're in profit 3x off the grace. If you boon them, you're only in profit 2x. So over the course of like a bunch of hatches, if you go and you take, let's say you go like 100 boons and then 100 graces, you're gonna hit a bunch of rares. The percent difference is only 15 to 20% for rares. It's a big difference with the mythics, because it's two times the difference, which is a lot. Over the course of 100 hatches, you'll basically hit 2 instead of 1, right? But you're gonna hit a lot of rares, and also with graces, you can still hit the same. I think it's the same percentage for odd pools and rare backgrounds as well. And that floor for odd pools and rare backgrounds odd pools were selling yesterday. Somebody bought a 4-star odd pool legendary for 3,200 crystal last night. Odd pool market has not done anything in the last 2 months, and now odd pools are selling for 350, 400 crystal, and it's crazy. So I'm like,
that doesn't make sense. That's after Hubert said they wouldn't have any in-game.
Yeah, they're basically, so it's just like when AMAs, when people talk about, when the devs talk about stuff on AMAs, it just moves the market, and you have to basically just think, okay, if now 4-star profession rares are all going to be are 199 crystal, they're selling for 175 instantly to the bots now.
Yeah.
Now you can go and, you know what I'm saying, maybe go for like a 20 grace hatch. You're going to get a couple rares in there. You're going to get probably some legendaries odds wise, or even boons. Boons are okay. Boons are really good. The thing about boons is, there's a lot of hoopla with boons and about when to hatch them, and there's a lot of hoopla. Everybody calls it hoopla, but you know what I'm saying, the boom guys that have the most mythics, we have a theory that when there's not a mythic that pops in a while, it's a higher likelihood that something's gonna pop. It's really hoopla if you really.
Yeah, I don't even think that's true, but
It's not true because I asked Enrique. He basically did the pet data of
Okay.
all the top hatchers. The top hatchers are Mosh with like 41, me with 13, B with 13, and there's a few people in the top. And the top 10, everybody pretty much has like all the good hatchers are pretty much at around 2 to 3% in their mythic hatches. So it's really exactly at the odds that you're supposed to be at. But we all call it sniping, and we call it's a theory that if there's not a mythic in the hatchery and for a while you can snipe somebody, or if somebody's doing like a whole hatch session, you can snipe mythics in them. So
right.
there's a bit of hoopla to it, but it's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's like superstitious kind of.
Yes, it's superstitious. It's not really real. Because somebody was like, yo, is this real? You're glitching the game. And I'm like,
Right. Yeah. So that's an interesting thought you're given here about, okay, if you're just wanting to go for a rare, we might be better off hatching the grace. I didn't really think as much about that. My pushback to that would be, okay, if we're anticipating tiers, let's just say tiers go up to 5 or 10 cents. What would you do then?
Boom.
It's no brainer, right?
Because it would be too expensive. See,
Right.
even 2 weeks ago, I was still on the boon. I was on boon train, and it just didn't make a sense to Grace. Only until this floor has doubled for rares tripled pretty much, that I've basically realized, okay, there is a case for Grace now that the floor is tripled, because in a session of like 100 Grace and boon hatches, you're gonna get about the same rares. Only 5% more.
Yeah, 15% versus 20%, right?
So you're going to get about the same rares. So if you hatch 100, that means if the floor has tripled and you're getting 15 versus 20 rares,
yeah,
and you do the math on that, you would basically make more money doing graces in terms of just that, if you exactly hit the same exact odds.
Yeah.
So I got to show you Stomposaurus's sheet. He did the math of graces and boons. But so I'll show you.
It's so cool seeing all that. So my thought is, okay, when you're hatching, you want to minimize the chances of getting a common card.
Yes.
Especially as tiers continue to go up. So even getting an uncommon 1-star, for example, it's definitely a difference. You know, here it's about an 8 or 9 crystal difference. And I just think all the pets are going to keep going up. But the biggest thing,
these uncommons are undervalued, by the way. But continue. Sorry about
that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, man,
they're almost the same as commons, and just look. So look at. All right, so I compare these to heroes, right? Mm-hmm. And when you think about heroes, right, the hero growth score for uncommon and common, it's like, I think, what is it? Uncommon has like 40 more levels at level 100.
Yes.
So that's
40 more stats at
40 more stats, right? So it's like what, 8% better. I think it's like 600 versus like 640 or something like that for a basic. So it's like around 7 to 8% better, right? And these uncommons, I mean, these commons sell for like 23, the shiny ones. And the uncommons, sometimes people dump them for like 24, 25.
Yeah.
For 2 crystal difference, I would just sit here and snag the uncommons one if you have if you have a floor army. So
yeah, or about an 8 crystal difference.
Yeah, right now it's 8, but if you have shiny ones, they'll usually sell for like 21. Because I was just selling a bunch of my commons for like 20. Yeah, the shiny ones sell for more because from the boom. So
interesting.
Yeah,
interesting. Man, okay, that is a good thought. We need to put a pencil and paper to that on the total cost to hatch these things. You know, we might end up, especially on the dark weed, that might become an issue for the and then okay, the iron scale and that weird other bluefish. I don't think neither one of those is in the stamina potions. But another little factor for the foraging ones is the dark weed down the road, because that's in the stamina potions.
With the milkweed and the spider fruit?
The stamina potion. So when PvP comes,
it's going to be crazy.
It's going to get wild.
You see what I told you earlier? I think stamina potion. See, all right. So with potions. This is kind of all right. So with potions, I think they're gonna limit potions in PvP to one per potion, just for balancing sakes, because you can't have it limited, because it's gonna be a nightmare of a game. It's gonna be
Or do you
really
think they
long.
might do what they're doing with duels, like 10 a day or something?
See, this is what I think. They might do that, but the only thing I don't think they're gonna do that for is because I think it was last night, you guys were talking about player retention,
Yeah.
and it'll be hard to keep players on if they only have a 10 hero lockout when Crystal hits like 50 cents plus. Because, all right, I had a longer outlook on like when Crystal and Jade can hit like 50 cents.
Okay.
And now I'm thinking it could, like, yeah, the way the market is going, obviously it's whatever, you know what I'm saying, speculation. But I'm thinking that Crystal and Jade could really hit like 25 cents in the next couple months when PvP comes out, right?
Yeah.
That first push, I think it can push Jewel to around $1 and Crystal and Jade to like 30 to 50 cents. And I think that PvP push, because I got a DM today from somebody back when I used to like on Twitter, and he asked me, he was like, "Yo, what chain is DFK on now?" And I'm like, "Yo, it's happening. It's Haitian Buffet." I think he was an old player. He was in the chat. He was an old player, and he came back. And
Really?
yes, because he was talking about it in general chat, and I'm like, he's like, I used to play this game a long time ago, and then I came back. So I'm like, there's a bunch of people that are just coming back, popping up,
Yeah.
like I used to play. And I'm just seeing it. And it's just slowly but surely. And we don't even have PvP out yet.
I know. Oh my gosh. So my DMs have been blowing up with people.
It's happening. It's happening.
You got me back into the game. I'm back into the game.
You got me back in, like really hardcore in. So it's like,
yeah, tell me that. Remind me.
So this is what happened. Yeah, I explained it on Mythic Squad, but I think you were in so basically,
yeah,
I came back in like May. I was in DFK. I got in DFK in November of 21, right? So it was the first project that I jumped in by myself. My friends got me into NFTs in August, and then I jumped into DFK by myself. Some guy named Antum, he was a Twitter guy. A lot of people kind of know him. He was in DFK. He still plays, but he doesn't shill it anymore. And because people gave him shit about it. But
really,
yeah. So boom, I got in. I kind of stopped playing at around January, February. And then it was a little bit before CV. And then I remember I got the CV airdrop, and I kind of stopped right after CV. So after that, I came back around May-ish. I think it was like May-ish. And I just came back. I basically, since the tokens were cheap, I basically tried to build up to a Dread Knight from scratch. Because that was what I couldn't do in the bull market, because everything was so expensive. I never had more than like 20 heroes in the bull. Everything was expensive. Hero was like $400 when I was playing, $500.
It's nuts.
It was nuts. This is how basically any profit that I made from NFTs, I would throw into DFK in the bull market. And this was when NFTs were booming. Like, so it was like I would make like a 4-figure, sometimes 5-figure play on an NFT, and I would put it all back into DFK heroes. Like, so, and it was nuts how crazy DFK was. It was the ecosystem was so crazy. My bad to go on a tangent, you know what I'm saying? But the ecosystem was so crazy that anything, the bots, you think the bots are bad now? No, anything that was 10 to 15% less than whatever the floor was for any department would get scooped up by bots. That's how much the tavern had activity. If you had back then, I remember sages were like 6 to 8K USD. And if you were to sell it for like 20%, so if you sold it for like, I don't remember what the price was, but sages were like 6 to 8K USD. Mythic basic heroes were like 6K USD. And if you tried to sell it for like 10 to 15% less, it would automatically get scooped by bots and reposted.
Yeah, I remember that, dude. That was nuts.
It was a crazy time in DFK, man. What? I don't even know. Oh yeah, so I came back in May, and I remember I was just in questing manually and stuff like that. And then I remember I seen your videos on like my recommended, and I'm like, I remember it was a video with you in your car, and I'm like, this guy's talking about DFK? This is so random. I'm like, why does it say DeFi Kingdoms and he's in his car? And you were just excited about the game. And I'm like, yo, I just came back to, quest a little bit here and there. And then I'm like, okay, let me just see what's up. So then I started listening to AMAs again and stuff like that. And I'm watching your videos and you're just talking. I'm like, oh yeah, you're just making it seem like, yo, this it's like I thought you were like a DFK ambassador or something, part of the team at first. Like, and then when you guys did the big stream with Mythic Squad with the elite abilities, the genealogy, basically, I it's like the Mr. Zipper article part 2.
Right.
I was like, nah, I have to get back in, because certain games like this is like games that I really used to go, like anything that has like that's like super big brain, and you can I pride myself on breaking games. Like that's kind of what I pride myself on. Right. I pride myself on breaking the game. In all games that I play, I always find a glitch. I always find like some way to like break the game, infinite loops. Like I used to play Destiny Division. I was soloing raids on Destiny, still have it on my channel. Like it's just a bunch of stuff that I like breaking the game. So when I heard about the abilities, I'm like, oh no, this is crazy. This is crazy. And I just started for like a month straight. I was just like summoning a bunch. I was and I was just like, yeah.
Dude, so okay. So by the way, anyone in the chat,
not bad for the tangent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you definitely want to watch the stream from last night, because this is kind of like a piggyback off of the stream last night, which I've never been more bullish on anything in my life as I am on DeFi Kingdoms right now. So supply, demand. There's not enough supply for the demand of pets. Pets are going to keep mooning, I think, but not until necessarily it comes out, because up until Profession 10 level questing is actually happening and egg hatching is actually happening, these things are still speculation until that happens. So let me give that forewarning. We could see someone come on. There's not enough liquidity for tiers. Somebody could go in there and dump a bunch of tiers and really dump the price hard and fast. So keep that in mind. Although it's probably a good time to dollar cost average in, maybe a little bit here and there, if you're going to need a whole bunch of tiers to hatch all these eggs. We're not going to have enough tiers up. Okay. Because someone asked, is it a good time to sell pets? So what do you think? My response to that would be no.
It depends what type of pet.
Okay.
So
okay.
With the AMA, when Hubert basically said that the stars are going to be the most things that matter for like the bonuses, but in terms of XP, that's when the rarity comes into play.
Yes.
So if you're like somebody that, let's say you're like a just an average wallet size, if you have let's say you have like 2 mythic pets, yes, that bonus is going to be a lot on two heroes, but you can sell those 2 mythic pets and grab a bunch of maybe 2-star rare pets and fill up your whole wallet. Let's say you have 50 heroes. So it might be more beneficial for your wallet size, depending on your wallet size, to basically, if you have like 2 mythic pets, and get your whole heroes to have all the pets instead of just having 2 heroes. But that power level difference of 90% experience boost,
right,
tied into the power-ups from C Jewel and S Jewel over the course of 3 quests per day, you are going to really want that, especially if you're going to want to compete in PvP.
Yes, especially for your PvP heroes.
And I know that they don't really have, like, they haven't really mentioned a date on PvE, and I know that's when the majority of XP is going to come out. I think we're going to be getting a little bit of XP from PvP, though.
That's
Even though I think we're going to get a little bit. They're going to do it, so I think it's going to be something small, maybe like anywhere from 20 X. It might be something small, like 20 XP a game, a PvP battle. And I think an average game may be like it's not, because the reason why you don't want it to be too much is because we have bots already. Even if you're losing, you can still bot something like that and get like an extra 200 to 300 XP a day if it's overpowered. Like if it's a lot of XP, and you don't want bots to basically be getting an extra 300 XP a day. That's like what you get from questing 3 times a day.
Interesting.
So you don't want to basically have, because even if the bot loses, are you going to give the people that lose XP as well?
Well, I'm guessing not as much. What do you think?
Yeah, it probably won't be as much, but even if you just come in and you're just botting and losing, that's still free XP that you're kind of getting for nothing.
Yeah, but I think it's going to still eat up your stamina, right? To do.
Okay. If it does, if PvP, okay. So if PvP eats up your stamina, then
Yeah.
I can see them giving XP for that.
Yes.
But then you'll only be able to do PvP for like what, a couple whatever lineup you have, and then you're done.
Right, and then you got to use stamina potions.
Okay, so
but there'll be a limit to like 10 battles a day we can do or something. I'm guessing.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So they limit the battles, PvP costs stamina, and then they limit the battles.
Yeah. So what are we gonna want to do?
Okay, then
like 20 sets of 3 heroes, right? That we spam pot like crazy madmen. So like, okay, to do one hero all the way up from level 1 all the way up to level 15. How many stamina pots?
Hold on, I had a thing. I think it's 1,200 stamina pots to level 15 at an average of 150 XP. I think that's how much it.
Okay, what? Say that again.
So I think it's 1,200 stamina pots to level 15 at an average of 150 XP per stamina potion.
1,200, really? It's
only
I think
it's 1,200.
Why did I think to get to level 10? I thought I remember.
I think it's 500 for level 10.
I thought it was.
It might be a little bit more.
4,600 to get to level 10.
It might be a little bit more. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can do some.
Thinking about that now. That's crazy. If anybody knows,
if anybody knows,
maybe stuff wrong.
Maybe I know, because I be doing it off the top of my head, because I know because if you basically look at it as one stamina pot is about 150 XP.
Okay.
And then
I mean, at first though, in the early,
it's not. It's like 100.
It's even less. Sometimes, man, it's like 69 or 70.
Well, if you're doing training quests, you're gonna boost it like
Yes.
So
yes, you will boost that from training quest 75 minimum at level 1.
Yeah.
But
so I'd say an average of 100 until you get to like a 30 in the stat.
Or even a 20 in the stat.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Start doing better. Okay. So, but let's just say for ease of numbers sake, let's just say it's 100 per stamina pot. Okay, so it's 20 stamina pots to get to level 2, right? And then it's 30 stamina pots to get to 3. And is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna post the XP levels in the chat, right? So this is the XP.
Oh yeah, you can only do it in this.
That's the XP in
private chat, right? Or
no, I posted it in the stream. My bad.
Okay. Level 1 is 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K to level 5, 6K to level 6, 8K to level 7, 10K to level 8, 12K to level 9, 16K. So it's about 500 stamina potions.
Yeah. So this is what I had in my notepad about this. But this was a long time ago. This was back when my old notepad about stamina potions. This was back when the what was that called? The challenges. What was the thing? The daily achievements.
Oh man, the contest.
Yes, the contest. That's the word.
That's what got me into the game so much.
I remember DFK Naus. I remember when he did the weird thing over this summer, like when he was like not over the summer, maybe like a couple months ago, he had some weird thing about DFK because he was always bullish. Then he had just one thing that was like bashing the team for something, but whatever. I remember he spilled out some alpha about the contest, and he was like, if you basically stamp pot the contest and you stamp out a hero from like scratch, you could basically get into like the top 3 of the contest and make kind of like half of your money back from stamina potions.
Right.
And I was like, I remember I did that one day and I was like, yo, I got into the top 5, but it took so much energy. I'm like, yo, there's really people doing this every day.
It's a full-time job, baby.
Oh my God. And I did it. I got into the top 5, and that was the one time I did it. And I was like, I can see how people are actually grinding up their heroes to like level 10 plus and then getting paid back half by getting in the top 3. And that was like, that's another little small ecosystem. Like this game is just all about finding your little niches and what you can do and then calculating it by calculating the EV for it. Like that's pretty much what the game is just about.
Man, So, okay. Yeah, everyone is confirming you're right. It's like 500 to 600 stamina pots. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it definitely was nice, the contest, because yeah, it gave you an excuse to stam pot a hero up. And then the more you stam pot them up, the more profitable they are in questing and stuff. And then you're kind of getting paid back for the stamina potions. Now, but it was just too much and too much time. So I was, more into the total wallet contest, even when I was manually questing like a madman.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So even
Back to
with
PvP and potions. My bad. Sorry about that.
yeah. So I'm gonna want to probably have, like, strategically speaking, for PvP combat, I'm going to want to have at least like 10 different combinations of teams, like maybe 50 different, maybe 100 different combinations of teams, like with all my heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm going to be, I just know myself when it comes and it's really good. And I think from everything I'm seeing from Pervy Sage, baby, Workhorse, it's just going to be the bomb. What do you think?
Can we talk about how crazy this guy Ian is, man? Bro, the only thing you said it one time and it was like, I'm like, yo, nobody else is thinking about it, bro. There is so much pressure on him. I'm like, I almost want to tell him, like, yo, bro, can you just relax? And I know he was recovering. I know he said he had something happened to him.
What
He
happened?
was in a I don't know. He said he just tweeted out like he was in the hospital and he recovered. And I'm just like, I just don't want it to be like a over stress related DFK thing, because remember that happened to Frisky.
It did. He's got a lot of stress on his shoulders, and but I didn't think it was hitting him yet. But I'm hoping it's not really necessarily related.
Yeah,
I think it might have been something else. But yeah, I would love to know, how he's doing. I'm actually think he's coming on the channel at some point. It's just life's gotten crazy.
Man, I love him, man. There's so much pressure. You see, yesterday you guys all had the same answer for like looking forward to DFK, and it was like PvP. I'm like, oh my god, Workhorse has like so much pressure on him. Everybody is saying PvP. It's like, holy.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I told
he's the only guy you would want
the weight of the world on your shoulders. I just want to let you know we got your back.
We do.
We're not expecting perfection from day one. It's 1/50th of the game on day one. But with all that being said, okay, it just seems like really big-brained, high-level awesomeness so far, what he's putting out. So it just looks like every single hero is going to be OP. And it's just like so many different combinations. It's so big brain. I'm loving it.
He's the best for the job. There's nobody else I would want.
Golly, I know. Okay. So
back to PvP potions. My bad.
Yeah, right. So the PvP, when that comes, okay, first we got eggs coming and Profession 10 level quest. We're going to want more pets for Profession 10 level quests. There's not enough pets to support all the heroes who will be able to quest Profession 10 level quests. There's not enough tiers to hatch all the eggs. Like if you count the yellow and golden eggs and all the eggs in existence currently right now, there's not enough tiers to hatch them. Okay. And so it's so genius. And then I wonder how much gold there is in existence. Okay.
Gold is undervalued.
Yes.
It's another thing that's undervalued.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because as tiers continue to pump, because there's just not enough of them, and pets continue to pump, then we're definitely going to want to do the boon the more that stuff pumps.
Mm-hmm.
And so gold, we're going to always want to do the boon, which is 5,000 gold. Okay. That's going to, so if all the pets in existence are hatched with boon, that we're talking like 600 million gold to hatch all those. And
even half of it, even if you consider half.
No, or 1/3 or 1/4. It's like nuts how much it's going to be. Okay. So, and then because the value of all these items keep going up and up and up and up, we're going to want more
pushing
heroes.
the whole ecosystem.
What's that?
It's pushing the whole ecosystem up.
Yeah, because we want more heroes to quest for those items, and we especially want more heroes questing Profession 10 level quest. And because of all that, we're not going to be doing much training quest. Okay, which
the
means
Crystal Crisis. Have you seen it?
Oh,
lesser Mike Crystal. I think I paid 6 crystal for it today.
No, is it already that high?
I think it was 5.4. Let me check to make sure right now. I'm gonna check.
I can check too.
I think I paid like 5.8. Let me check. So Crystal lesser Mike.
Okay.
5.78 crystal for one lesser Mike crystal.
My goodness. Gracious.
They call it the Great Depression. The Great Crystal era is gonna start soon. Because look at this. All right. There's some people that don't crystal their heroes at all, and they have some pretty good heroes based off of luck, variance, and RNG, right? Yeah. Now, the more and more people, as we get closer to PvP, regular crystals, might, vigor, all of the regular crystals have gone up as well, over 20-30%. Even greater crystals on the, on the over the counter have gone up as well, like 20-30%. So people are going to basically be trying to optimize their heroes and min-max their heroes. So they're going to be using crystals on everything, at least lessers. These are already going up, the lesser crystals. And you can get these from the raffles. I'm going to just do a quick alpha drop. I've been doing this for the last 3 days, but it's actually very annoying. Right. Because I don't think DFK Helper has the raffle bot where you can put into the minis. You can do smalls, large, medium. I don't think you can do minis yet.
It doesn't have the minis.
Yeah, so I've been doing this manually. So
the minis have come way more raffle tickets in those minis.
No, but the minis are very profitable right now because crystals are expensive. If you get in right now, because lesser Mike crystals are about 5 crystal. That's 10 crystal.
Oh my God.
You can win those with like 300 300 raffle tickets.
Okay.
So that's pretty profitable. That's like a 5 crystal profit.
Yeah. That's right.
So it's something small, but you know what I'm saying? It's there for smaller wallets that want to do it. I'm just doing it because I need those crystals to level up. I have a bunch of heroes. So
yeah, dude, 5.7 crystal for a lesser Mike.
Crazy.
Okay, and for the vigors,
how much are they?
Is 5.6.
I'm telling you, man, that if you're a smaller wallet out there and you have like some raffle tickets, snipe the raffle tickets, the lesser crystals when they're 2 at night, maybe like 12 Eastern right now to like 10 a.m. Eastern, right? Okay. And those are less competition. If you really want to do something a little big brained, bridge your raffle tickets to Serendale because there's less people doing it. And you bridge your raffle tickets to Serendale and there's less competition there. And you're going to basically be fighting me and a couple other people that's doing that same thing.
Why haven't I been thinking about that?
And you can make a killing over there. Yeah. You can make a killing over there. Bridge your raffle tickets. And because I don't duel on Serendale yet because the gas is very high over there. But if you just want to bridge, you duel on Crystalvale, bridge your raffle tickets, and then snipe the 2 might and 2 vigors. Those are about 11 crystal wins.
Yeah.
And they only take about 350 tickets because that's the max you can put in.
Yeah. Dude, look at these regular vigor crystals are at 65 crystal.
Yeah, I just want a crazy regular pack. And
I did too.
Like, yeah, and I was like, wow.
Immediately I sold my vigor and my crystal. Because look at the price difference between these. We got 19.8 crystal versus
65
crystal.
That's
or
crazy.
50 crystal. So like you could buy up these regular crystals
and make a liquidity pool.
Well, that too. But look, like the luck one is only 17 crystal.
Yeah.
Or 7 jewel. That's the best deal is the regular fortune crystal. And then, I just have been foregoing my strength and vigor crystals here lately. Golly. Okay. So because nobody's doing the training quest much to get the tiers and to get all the stuff, there's a huge reduction of gold happening on the market hard. And when the egg hatching comes, we're going to feel that. So then all of a sudden, I had this thought, more thoughts here. All of a sudden, we're going to be like, damn, gold. And so guess what people are going to do? They're going to start questing training quests again a little bit. And then what does that mean? That means less tiers coming.
Yeah.
Okay. But on the Profession 10 level quests, it will help increase the teardrops. So that'll be good. But then we'll have to hatch. Then we'll have to hatch the yellow eggs and the gold eggs. And then as these prices of everything goes up, we're going to want to summon more. And the floor of heroes, we've already seen pumping like crazy, which is awesome. What's the floor of heroes today? I wonder.
59.
Is it still 59?
Still okay. 59, even after the push.
Okay, good. No, that's like, wow.
Remember what I was telling you though? One thing that people, all right, this is the beautiful thing about the DFK market. And everybody catches on to stuff, so it's gonna come out soon. I'm gonna just give it away right here. People are, you Gen Zero owners out there, you guys are literally, have you seen the floor? Okay,
nuts.
Last month when the floor was 30 crystal, Gen 1s were still 150 crystal. Now the floor is 60 crystal, 59, and Gen 1 floor is still 150 crystal.
Yeah.
Why are Gen 1 holders, I mean Gen 0 people not putting their Gen 1s higher?
Right.
Right now, if you buy 2 Gen 1s for 150 crystal, you summon them together, you make an advanced, you can snipe some of them. There's going to be a little bit more because you're not going to get the exact pair for that cheap. You would have to snipe it at maybe like 180, something like that. To get a pair. You can make 5 floor heroes for 32, 36, 40, 44, 48 with the chance of summoning an advanced hero, summoning a rare advanced, uncommon advanced, advanced win an elite, and then profit off of that, and then make your own floor heroes.
Right.
There's just different strategies for you to do. Right. And because the Gen 1 market is the only thing in the ecosystem that hasn't really adjusted to price yet.
Yeah.
It's still doable. It's still doable right now. I do not expect this to stay like this because people really haven't caught on. And I guess it's because of the liquidity crunch, because of these last 2 events. We had 2 back-to-back summoning events. I don't think we ever had that in DFK.
Right.
So that's a bunch of liquidity that just got burnt through the market, because you got to realize there's only 75 winners for summoning. And there's a bunch of people that are summoning. There's like in the top 200, there's like at least 50 summons a piece this one. So there's a lot of liquidity that just got took out the ecosystem. So people are still trying to get their liquidity back with whatever they're doing. Yeah, but I don't expect this to stay like this.
Yeah, there was so many summons in this summoning event. There were so many. Okay, and so I thought for sure the floor of heroes would dump because we're all trying to win the Gen Zeros. And then after we're done summoning like madmen, like the D-gens that we are, we need to start recouping some of that money back from all the summoning. I thought people would start dumping the heroes. Well, guess what? Since then, the hero floor has only like gone up by 60 or 70%. Even though we've got a zillion more heroes now.
It's because of all the items. It's because all the items. So now all the floor. All right, this is what it is. People are so like angry about tiers that the only way they can get more tiers is either cry their real ones out or buy floor heroes and quest them themselves. You have to basically, well, now what people are doing, the people are basically trying to self-sustain themselves with DFK. They're buying the floor heroes to self-sustain themselves, and they realize, and it's, you know what's crazy, like you're saying, we haven't even seen the potion crisis yet. You're gonna need to bring a full health potion and a full mana potion in the game.
Hey,
it's crazy.
We're getting there. Because so the first thing after everything, you know, the shock of the market hits, when the real world hits, where we actually need these things and it's no longer speculation. And everyone realizes, OMG, like when tiers go to 10 cents or 20 cents or 40 cents or 50 cents, and they're going to be like OM to the G. So then there's going to be a lot more summoning also that happens. Okay, people are going to start summoning to have more heroes, to have an army to quest. So that's the good thing. Like Rock said, dang it, I wanted to buy a bunch of floor heroes. I just didn't get around to it or whatever. Well, the good news is you can still summon because crystal is still cheap.
Yes.
So in that, you know, basically, if you've already got some heroes you can summon, there you go. Instead of buying floor heroes, you could go summon on Crystalvale and have at it. Okay. So we got all these zillions of eggs that'll be hatching, most likely all pretty much like most all of them will be hatching at in Boone, I think, but who knows how that plays out. I would 100%, especially if tiers keep pumping, do Boone. So bullish on Crystal, bullish on our jewel in the jeweler too. And then all the summoning that's going to happen. Right. And so all these items, we're going to be wanting to just have an army of heroes questing away, which is just driving up the value of everything. Then PvP comes. Right. So go ahead, take it away.
And
how's that going to work with the potions?
So if you go to the alchemist, right?
Yeah.
With the potions, right? You're gonna. I have a theory that they're gonna allow, just to not make it super. Well, in PvE, they're gonna allow. I think it's going to be a maximum amount of potions. I think there's going to be super hard dungeons and potentially raids that are basically going to be like, you're going to need a bunch of these. And I'm pretty sure the bosses are going to be like a lot of poison stuff, a lot of stuff like that. So you're going to need a bunch of these. There's a market for these too because of the stones. The stone, you need these for a lot of the stones. And
yes,
the stones,
on these little ones, but I've just been holding like this stamina swiftness potion.
Yeah. And if you look at the stones are up to 25 crystal a stone.
I know. I'm just like,
so what does that mean for a lot of heroes, right? On the market, it hasn't been. I understand. Remember when Brown just says he doesn't summon with stones because it's not really priced in, right? But now more people are pricing it in ever since the back of the card thing. So people now look at your card and they see if it's not stone. A lot of people are not buying it. It wasn't like that before,
right?
But now now those stones are valuing, like, if you get a good hero and it's not stoned, people are kind of like, I'm not gonna buy that. But for a floor hero, it doesn't matter because you see floor heroes all the time. People are just buying them because they're just questing them.
Yeah.
So, but if you're trying to make something good, do not unstone it. There's a bunch of dreads that are not stoned.
Oh my gosh.
Do not do that. We seen the Dread Knight unstoned. And I know somebody said it was an accident, but please, I know a lot of these big crazy like summons are going on in Discords with multiple people watching. Yeah. Somebody scream at them and tell them to use, if you're going for dreads, like,
it's crazy that people on a dread even on advanced heroes or Gen Zeros, you're trying
to see it for Gen Zeros. I'm crazy. I'm like, you waited 3 days for your cooldown and you didn't decide to stone that? I don't know. There's some, like, I'm a believer in not stoning when I'm only trying to go for like profit.
Okay, right.
Now, before I never did that. When it was like 5 crystal, I didn't care. 5, 7, 10 crystal. But now that it's like 30 crystal, I'm like, I can't.
Yeah,
chaos stones. Lesser chaos stones are like 25 crystal.
No way, dude.
Yes. Let me check. I think it's like 23. 20, because last time I bought a bunch. Let me see. Lesser chaos stone. 25 crystal. You know what's so funny? There was a video that you did and you snuck it in there. See, I'm a person, I like the alpha where you don't actually say it, you just sneak it in there. So there was a video where you were like, yeah, I don't know why everybody's not stoning. And this is when stones were like 7 crystal, 8 crystal. And you were like, and then you were like, just use a freaking chaos stone. And I remember I was like, why chaos? I'm like, this is random. But I checked chaos on the market. Every other crystal was like 8, 9 crystal, and chaos stones were like 4 crystal. I said, oh wait, I'm buying a bunch. I remember I bought like 200 chaos stones, had a hella price impact. But I was like, yo, I'm like, yo, and then I still ran out of those because I was like, sometimes they hit the stat you want sometimes, and it happens, and you're like, oh yes, let's go. But it's like, for that cheap, and then now chaos stones are not even cheap anymore.
Yeah, 24 crystal and 10 jewel versus to craft them when the stone carver comes out to craft them, it's the value of tiers have gone up so much that it's now 16 crystal.
There's a lot of arbitrage now here, even with the volatility of tiers and all of the items. There's a lot of arbitrage still with you basically stone carver and then wait to the middle of the week.
That's right.
That's the biggest arbitrage. Every single week you can arbitrage this.
Yep. And as these things continue to go on, now I think you're right. There will be even more people not using stones and summoning because of this. But it's all the more. Look, 50 tiers per stone plus, like, if the mana vial does require tiers. So it's 1 mana vial. Now, that's just the little vial. Notice the little tiny vial, mana vial. Then you got the big fatty ones. Those aren't used in the stones. So those aren't even being used yet.
Until PvP.
There's no use case. PvP. So how's that going to work into PvP?
I think in PvP, you're going to get one of each potion per battle, so they don't extend the battles. Because if you have like 10 full health potions, it's just going to become like a whale PvP game who has more health potions and who's willing to fight for an hour. So I think it's going to be one per battle per team. And everybody's going to want to have mana and health at least, or at least health. So everybody's going to get a stack of health potions. These are going to triple in price regardless. I don't know when, not financial advice, whatever. But obviously, as the game grows, when PvP comes out, you're going to want to have health potions. Obviously, there's going to be people that, if you go up against a deck, not a deck, well, a hero, whatever, a hero deck, and let's say you're slightly under leveled. Let's just taking out potential brackets and whatever. If you don't have a health potion to even put you in like an extra chance to win, it's going to be rough for you. And how much are full health potions right now?
Okay.
Do you know the price of these?
So then looking at this, look, the tiers for a full health potion is 20 tiers. But look, also you got to have four vials. The health vial, 5 tiers. So it's 20 tiers times 2, 40 tiers for that bad boy.
These really, right? It's crazy. I feel like they're not that expensive as they should be because of how it's a full health potion for one hero.
Well, and then look at these items. So just examine the items. 300 gold for the small one, 8 rock root. So rock root is also used to hatch eggs. Look out. Iron scale also used to hatch eggs. Okay. And then, so on top of that, then we got more rock root. We got shimmer skin. Okay, we got 3,000 gold. So and then also the amber taffy.
Yeah.
Okay, so look out
for these when PvP comes.
The value of these items to make these
are going to keep going up, and then the value for there's also going to be arbitrage opportunity between people that want to buy the full health potion and then make the items themselves.
Yes,
there's going to be lazy people all the time. They're just going to say, I'm not going to go make these items myself.
It's a pain in the ass.
It is a pain. You got to, especially your first time, you got to approve all of them.
Yeah.
So there's probably going to be like a 10 to 15% arbitrage between making the health potions and crafting them. I mean, between buying the health potions and crafting them. So
yeah, it is a pain in the ass. So it's so much easier to go buy them. So providing liquidity, high volume, just like we've always seen with the stamina potions, right? So the stamina potions, 10 tiers for that bad boy.
Can we talk about this for a second? Like, just think about this. Okay, this is the bull case for stamina potions, right? Right now, you see high level heroes in the tavern, right? And you see them and you're like, these only have like 100 crystal premium and these have took 6 to 9 months to quest, right? But then you think, right? Let's say we just double our player base. Let's say just think it's small. We just double our player base. The first thing that's going to happen is those people are going to start making videos when it comes into the game. People are going to look at and they're going to be like, okay, floor heroes are 60 crystal. A level 10 hero is like 200 crystal. Once everybody buys up those level 10s and there's no more level 10s, the only way to get 9 months to a year and a half back into the game will be stamina potions. That is the only way. Once all the high level heroes are off the market, there is only one way to skip time in this game.
Yep.
And that is stamina potions.
Yep.
There is one way.
Yep. Even small little fishy fishes in this game, you might want to have, as far as combat goes, you might want to have at least 3 or 4 teams of 3 each, okay, that are beastly, okay, and you just come into the game.
Yeah, Matty Basket. Look at what he said.
I know. I love it.
My bad. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So if I've got, like 5 sets of 3 heroes, that's 15 heroes and I'm just a little dude in the game, and I want to come in and kick ass at combat, right? To get 15 heroes up to like level 15. Just one little fishy fish coming in. How many stamina potions is that?
One hero to level
So
15
to level 10
is
is like 500 or
500.
600, but then to level
I
15,
think 15 is 1200.
1200 more or total.
I think it might be total. No, it might be 1200 more. Here, I have this right there, and so if somebody can do the math on that, but I think it's 1200. I think from 1 to 10 is 500, around 500, 5 to 600. And I think 10 to 15 would be another. No, I think it's 1200, like at 1200, not 1200.
1200 total to get to level 15.
No, I think it's 1200 more. It might be 1200 total. I'm not. It might be 1200 total. I don't exactly know.
Okay, and then to get to level
20 is so much. I think it's like I think it's like another 2020 from 15. It's so much. It's not really even worth it, I feel like.
Well, but when we're in combat, we don't even care. We just want to win and go kick ass, and get our name up on the board or whatever. Kind of like with contests. I loved seeing Crypto Grady on there, or whatever.
Yeah. Did you see what Hubert said in that AMA like 3 AMAs ago? And he talked about how there will be locks. There will be locks in there will be gated dungeons for level.
Ooh.
That's the first thing that's gonna basically increase. Like it's gonna triple the floor prices for level 10 plus heroes. He said there's gonna be locks on dungeons. It's gonna be he said something about I think a power scale of like I remember I think I was reading the same image punch on the AMA. I gotta find what exactly it was, but yeah, that was the first mention of like heroes having level ups. I think he was talking about it.
Man.
Hero level mattering.
That is wild. Yeah, so because I remember when I was competing for the contest, and at that time that we weren't able to consume the stamina vials yet, and so I just was scouring the tavern every day, all the time, trying to get the high level heroes. And when they finally came, I paid the freaking moon. I found this level. I mean, but he was reasonably priced actually at the time given. And so there's this like level 11 ninja. And I was like, oh, a level 11. Like I didn't even ever see a level 10. Like, and I was still winning all the competitions because I was just nuts in those things. So, man. And then I found that thief. Crazy. Okay. So yes. So when PvP comes, we'll be able to get XP quicker. That's right, Jeremy. But guess what? High level pet bonuses.
Yes, mythic level pets with C Jewel and S Jewel power ups.
Yes,
with stand pots.
Okay,
will be the way to power level.
But here's the thing: how are you going to get the pets? Hopefully, you already got the pets. Because here's the deal: people aren't going to be able to. There's not enough pets to supply all the heroes.
There's only like 800 mythic pets.
If that.
Yeah.
Is it 800 or
I think
300?
I think it's 800. Let me check the graph. Hold on. I'm gonna find the graph right now. Okay. Enrique, hold on. Give me a second.
Or maybe it was like 400 something. I thought.
Enchant.
But I might be wrong. Okay. So there's a lot of potential combat heroes out there, a lot more than those pets, right? So the demand of all this stuff is just going to go so bonkers. It's so crazy, but not until these things actually go live. Let me keep emphasizing that. Yeah, good man, Jeremy. Smart man. Buying up the pets, baby. It's going to come back. Oh, it's in your DMs, says Crypto Baby. Crypto Baby H said, check your DMs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is this the data of all the mythic pets?
Here, and if you want to share your screen, you can.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
How do I do that here? Hold on.
Yeah, combat bonus pets. That's right, Jeremy. So
How do I share this?
okay, the present.
Oh, present. My bad.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a little slow.
No, you're good. And then you gotta click the right screen or the right one. Usually, yeah, just the one on the
Okay,
left. Okay.
my bad.
All right.
Yeah, this is all the pets, but I don't think it shows the exact amount of mythics.
Oh yeah, and I think the pets are that this is outdated. So
this was what I was
Starbucks had
looking
an
at.
updated one. Okay.
Was it
And you
this?
do you know how to zoom in? Is there a way to zoom that in a little bit?
Hold on. Sorry about that.
Like for me is Command plus, but I'm an
Let
Apple.
me share. I
Okay.
think I have to share the window, right?
Yeah, you can share either one, like your whole screen or just like a specific. Yeah, the updated one.
Is it like that?
Okay, yeah, here.
But this is not the amount of. Is it? I don't think this is the amount of. Oh yeah, total mythics. Yeah, total mythics 818 right here.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So a total of 66,000 pets. There's about 150,000 at least, I would say, fishers and foragers that are ready to quest and profession 10 level quests. Because there's a little over 250,000 fishers and foragers in existence, or somewhere in there. I would love to get all those exact numbers, and I know they're out there. Okay, and so out of the 250,000 fishers and foragers in existence, I'm guessing at least 150,000 of them are ready for pets, for profession 10 level quests. Okay.
This is crazy. There's
it says
37.
Crypto Baby H. It says December on it. And Starbucks just last night had one, or 2 nights ago had one pulled up that was January, like updated, and it had the 5 because there's 5 pet rocks now, not 4. Okay.
That's updated one yesterday from Thoric Wood. Okay.
Okay. So when PvP comes out, what happens is just naturally you don't know. All of a sudden, if the game is really good and you're really into it and it's really fun and you want to be the best, okay,
you're gonna need those mythic pets to power level. Basically, what's gonna happen is the value of all right. So if you just think about long term, right? The value of power leveling with a mythic pet at 90% increase versus stand potting power leveling without it is you're saving almost half in stamina potions.
Right.
At least so if you're a whale and you come in, whales like to do things. There's groups of whales that come into games and they do things like hoard.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of these stuff, there's whales that will come in and they will come with a group, just like when DFK was in a bull market, hoarding mythics, hoarding like the legendary mythic floor, like hoarding stuff like that. They will hoard pets just so other people can't power level with them, and you will have to hatch to get them on the market. That's in a Super Bowl case, the game gets like 10x the user base.
Right.
Because if there's only 800 mythic pets and the floor for mythics are like 3,500, it doesn't take that much money to take all of them off the market. So
I mean, and then when you want to win and play, okay, all of a sudden you're willing to pay for that best awesome hero.
Yeah.
Like, so when I was doing the contest, for example, because I was like winning money, I was like winning Jewel every day.
Yeah.
So having these awesome heroes, like I justified it in my mind to pay the moon for these awesome heroes to go win the contest and win money. So like in combat, that's going to happen. So people are going to just start paying money for this stuff.
I don't think nobody's going to power level without a mythic pet. It's just the value is just not there.
Right.
If you're going to power level, let's say you summon a mythic dread tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go buy a mythic pet to power level with it.
Yeah.
And it's going to have 3-star profession bonus if you're going to want to power level with profession.
Yeah. And you're going to want the 3-star combat.
Yeah, you're going to want the 3-star combat for sure if you're good, because you're eventually going to PvP with it. But you're going to have the 3-star profession because you're going to want to power level with profession. So you get the extra XP from profession, plus the extra bonus 90% XP, 70 to 90% that Hubert said from just having it equipped. You're gonna save in the long term. Let's say you had to, what we said, the stamina pots were like almost 1,700 for like level 15, or so. Let's just say 5,000 for level 20. With that 90% almost boost, you're saving almost half, a little under half.
Yeah.
Just
and
off the
maybe
value
that
of
was
stamina
the
pots,
40, maybe it was 4,600 to level 20. Maybe that's why I have 40.
Okay, that's probably what it is.
That
4,600.
makes sense.
That would make sense because I
And
know it's.
then
I think. Yeah.
we'll get to go to level 30 coming up. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and then level 30. But they said they're gonna lock it for a while at level 20, and I
Yeah.
think that's smart because it gives less people chances to really make excuses.
Right, but you know, he said once PvP comes, that's when
PvE?
he's going to open it up.
Oh, he's gonna open it at PvP for level 30.
So that was a couple weeks ago. Somebody asked about when level 30.
Ooh.
Okay, and he said that we're gonna hold off on that until PvP, until combat comes. That was his answer. So it might not be right when it comes out, but somewhere, you know, after combat, essentially, is when that's coming.
But that's why stones kind of really matter though on good heroes. Like, just speaking of like good heroes, because look, the majority of the game is going to take place from level 10 to 30. Like level 15 to 30 is like where the majority of the game is going to take place, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say in a year from now, it's going to be level 15 to 30. That's where most of the PvP is going to come in. Those 4, 6, and 8 stats on greater stones, and even the tier boost that you have at level 10 and stuff, level 5 and level 10, those little plus 10 to 15, like plus 10 stats that you're going to get that matters a lot.
It does.
In the lower levels. Once we scale up to level 100 and stuff, it doesn't matter as much because that's when RNG and variance takes over. Yeah. And those plus 4 doesn't really matter a lot. The difference between you having 96 strength and me having 100 strength is not that big of a deal. It's going to be more about skill and how we use our abilities. But like something like that, whatever. Like,
well, but at level 100, man, that's like
our stats are going to be like in the 500s. I'm sure. Yeah. I misspoke. My bad. But yeah,
you're good though.
Right now, it's a bigger deal than when it's going to be a big deal when we're like super high. Oh yeah, the same itch punch leveling hack. Basically, get 2 heroes level 8 plus, dark summon them with a greater stone, so you automatically boost your hero with 8 plus on the greater stone, and then the tier boost is going to give them +1 and +1 again. So if it hits the stat on the greater stone, you have a 10 plus on the stat at level 1. So you're having. So that really helps out in duels. Same itch punch is very smart for that. That was a very good strategy. Very good. That was a very good. And he gave out the alpha on it.
Right. And so every single stat is going to be so important, I think, really come into play. The value of those stats. So, okay, here's another thought I wanted to throw out there to you. Okay. So when I first started the channel, I didn't really know anything at all about the ability traits. And so just examining the cards and the heroes, it was like, oh wow. And then realizing stamina or crystals and how expensive they are, raider crystals and all that, they were like $1,000.
I remember the greater stones. The greater stones.
I roll and for what they do, it's like that's just to get you 2 stats that you might get. It doesn't even guarantee it. And it just made me realize, wow, every stat matters. This game is all about stats and leveling your heroes. Mm-hmm. It's all about it.
Min-maxing.
Yeah. And so I'm super bullish also on the traits. But without a jacked, statted up hero, we will suffer in combat and PvE. I think that's really apparent. It's really apparent in the like a lot of like Wowee, baby. Wowee.
Yeah, shout out to Wowee.
Like we were looking at his sheet, and a lot of these skills, right, are stats.
And they scale off different stats that are not like what's it called? The archer has int in it. I think the archer has scaled off of intelligence in one of the abilities.
Yeah, intelligence, obviously dex, but a lot of intelligence and luck for the archer.
So what we're seeing, you're right. Well, let me just. So what we're seeing is, like you're saying, for people that may have not leveled their heroes perfectly, it might not be a bad idea if you choose the tree in which you leveled your heroes.
Oh, right.
So if you choose the tree that fits your hero,
right.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes RNG is just crazy.
It's very true.
Like I'll use a regular, I can't tell you how many times I've used regular crystals and even greater crystals. And like one time I went and bought a greater crystal from like, I think from Swiss Crypto Guy, baby, in the chat. This was a while back, like in the summer. Okay. And I think I ponied up, gosh dang it, what was it? It was a lot just for one damn crystal. Okay. And I put it on my Dread Knight that I had summoned or something.
And it was a dud?
And it was like with a stone summoned. And so like chances, I think like one of the stats was over 90%. And then in the subclass, it was just smashing smoking chances, like 70% or something. And I missed them both. What in the hell? It's nuts, man.
Oh man, that's terrible. I have some like that too.
That's for one level. And so it just tells us, wow, this game is all about stats and leveling. Okay. And then also, like, it's so complex when you throw in all the different strategies and the subclass and the traits, the abilities. Okay. So those are going to be crucial too. But I think as a backbone for the hero, and so it really just seems to go to show more and more, the hardest, rarest thing is a mythic hero. Stoned. A stoned mythic hero.
Yes. Greater, regular, and even lesser.
Yeah, even the lesser. If you're doing a bunch of summons, yeah, those damn stones get.
Because the thing about the stones that people don't really know yet either is that the stones increase your primary and secondary stat growth by a bunch. Right. So on the back of your card, if you go to the primary and secondary stat growth, that stone increases it by a lot. The regular stones, they increase it by a lot. The greater stones increase it by 7% to the primary and 21% to the secondary, which is so insanely cracked that it basically makes it that you can have a card that has like 100% growth on the primary and like almost 85% growth on the secondary if you use a greater crystal. So you basically are always guaranteeing the +2, and then with the potential bonus that you can hit almost every level. So the greater stones are really, they're insane. When you hit a greater stone on a really good hero,
right?
It does wonders for your level ups.
It's like, it's so valuable.
Yeah, it's so valuable.
So what do you do then? Because it's so hard to find the right combination of like, you never get a mythic transcendent, anytime you use a greater stone, it won't hit a mythic, so like, it's so crazy. So at some point I do see myself someday going ape in the Dark Summoner, because the only benefit of the Dark Summoner, really, for the most part, I think, right? Only benefit is the rarity benefits. And so
the rarity floor,
yeah, man. Yeah, you're right. I think on these greater, look at that. You're right. 7, 8, you get 8 decks right off the bat here. And then 7% to primary growth and
21 to secondary.
To the secondary.
Like I have a Dread Knight with a greater vigor crystal, and it has 39.7%, 39.75% on the secondary for vigor.
Yeah.
So it's insane.
Insane. So I saw one time that was in the 40s, right? So if you 40%, then you use a crystal on top of that, even a lesser crystal at 40 something percent. Now you're at 55, 56%. In the subclass.
Yeah. And in the primary, there's somebody that posted, I think it might have been a cool. He has a sage with 100% int growth. No, I think it's 3 wolves. It's 3 wolves. It's one of them. They have like a mythic sage with like 100% int growth on primary, and I think the secondary is like 40 something percent.
Oh man.
and it has a blue stat. I think it has a blue stat in.
Yeah, because the blue stat with the greater stone.
Yeah, the blue hits a lot. With the blue is very important too, because that gives you the primary growth. And
yeah, so aligning those, that's what I'm so big on doing.
You have to align those with the stone. That's like the trick. You align that with the stone, and over the course of like 100 levels, that's like an extra plus what 6, 8 stats. Somebody could do the math on it, but when you align those with the stone, I know some people are not big on aligning those with, but if you're going for a good hero, you want to align it with the stone. Unless you're going for like a specific build. Like there's some heroes that I have
that
I have different builds with. Like I have Dark Knights with stacked luck, like almost 30 luck.
Yeah.
That I'm going for. I planned it in the beginning of the game where I'll have them. They're like level 10, level 11 with like 30 luck for a Dark
like
Knight.
All my Fisher Dark Knights, same.
Yeah, it's like just so if we do have something in the Dark Knight tree that scales with luck, then I'm gonna build that just because it scales with, you know what I'm saying, my luck.
Oh yeah, man. I love it. That's why I just follow the profession of leveling my heroes and then throwing on either usually vitality, but also luck. And then I've got all these different builds of heroes. So, and then, level 10, level 15, we can start like with the knights. That one really stands out to just for PvP knights. You're just doing endurance, strength, vitality, endurance, strength, vitality. And if you have a forager, if you got a bunch of knights, you want a different build, you could throw on Dex somewhere in there because those 4 stats, and it's significant. But I think all the stats will matter. But yeah, it was interesting with the archer. You got a lot of agility, a lot of luck. Mm-hmm. Intelligence is a big one for archers. And then, of course, Dex. And also strength and endurance.
Yeah.
7 stats. That's wild.
Okay, and if you look at the chart with archers, they have all their growth for the stats are pretty solid, except the int one, but it's pretty solid. Like their endurance is pretty good. Their growth for endurance, their growth for, I think agility is like 50%. Nothing is under, I think, like 30, 40.
Yeah, right. Yes. So in Jeremy, yes, it's both. And actually, Aphectz is the one. I love it when you correct me. So anytime I say something wrong, anyone in the community, Aphectz recently has corrected me on some of the things I say wrong. Why didn't anybody correct me last night when I was saying 4,600 stamina pots to level 10?
No, I think people were in the chat. They were saying it wasn't 40. Yeah, a couple people in the chat said it wasn't 46.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So, and Aphectz has messaged me several times, keeping me straight. So I always want to get.
I try to get the freaking like the Hubert message when I do correct something, because it's like a lot of, we need to have somebody's gonna do it. They're gonna make a website and it's gonna be like everything Hubert says, and they're gonna track down everything.
Yeah, or like I always used to say, I need a Mr. Zipper in my back pocket, because he just like knows everything. Or if you know who Dizzy is with Perilous Pirates, he's just like alpha guy. He just, if you ever have a question, about something, he's just like, boom, these guys just know everything about the game. I need guys like that in my back pocket. Oh my God. I need
the Hubert Rolodex, because there's so much info that Hubert. All right. So I think it's crazy. It's a blessing and a curse that we're so spoiled in the DFK community, right?
Yes.
Like, I remember we were talking, we were doing summons night, like a little summons night in Mythic Squad Discord, just a bunch of people just chilling doing summons. And then we had a question, and then we're kind of like just discussing. We're like, nah, Hubert said this. And we're like, nah, Hubert said this. So I go and ask Hubert at 2:30 a.m. and he responds to me. There's no other dev in any other game that would ever respond to you at 2:30 a.m. Like, you would have to go through so many channels. First, you would have to put in a support ticket probably. Then you would have to message like a knight or somebody. And then you would get a response like 3 days later if you're lucky. Like, the fact that we can actually go ask them something that they might have said or didn't say, and they're open to give it out. It's you get so spoiled by that. So then there's some things that might not come up on an AMA, but Hubert might have responded to somebody in Discord. So
yeah.
So that's like it's the blessing and a curse, because then it's like you might have more information than me about something because I wasn't there at the time when I seen it. Or I might have more information about you on something because I'm the one that asked Hubert and you didn't see it.
Right.
And it's like, no, you might not know something, and then it's like, oh, Hubert said this one time. Just like how recently when they finally had the transparency on about how profitable and affordable the common pets will be and if it will be worth it.
Right.
Now they're saying that it will be worth it for experience wise, and it will be worth it on a higher level hero, but on a lower level hero, it might not be worth it. Before, it was more of like only a few people really knew that because he said it in Discord one time.
Right. So we need that. We have to have a like on staff type guy who gets the messaging out. So one thing that was like, huh. So when I asked Hubert on Discord to clarify on the stats unknown, okay, and because I pay attention to that. It's not a huge thing, so it didn't. I'm not like super pissed off about it or anything like that, but it's definitely something I put weight on, is hitting on those stats unknown, right? And so when I asked him, like, hey, do you think there'll be any rewards? Because I know like Starbuck or somebody, Starbuck hit like an elite or something because he was actually summoning for it. And then Hubert was like, no, we said long ago. Like,
yeah.
So like this whole time, a big part of the community has been paying attention to that. But in Hubert's mind, okay, in his mind, that was like, no, we said don't pay attention to stats unknown. Like, leave those alone.
Yeah.
Like, so in his mind, but see, the messaging wasn't there. So that's why we need a guy. We need like a team of guys like Rock and stuff like that doing daily streams, not going from 1 a week to 2 a week. No, there's so much more alpha and there's so much to this game, but we need a person on the team doing it, because even Bolin doing the streams, that's like not his job. It's not. So it's like an extra thing for him that's like thrown on his plate. You can even tell. And so it's like it stretches the team to do that every single week a little bit. So if you had just a guy doing it every day where that was his focus, and he was helping to coordinate with the team to do AMAs still and bring on a new team member every day. And, they've got how many on the team now, so then they could go to once every 3 weeks, even per team member.
I'm so against them. I heard them talk about it and they said they
my
want to
gosh.
pull. I am so against. I look forward to the AMA every week.
Oh my gosh. It
so
vital.
strengthens my conviction every single week.
Yes.
And there's new people that I know that they like. I know there's people that haven't come back into the game and they watch the AMAs, because I was that same person. When I came back, I was still watching the AMAs every now and then, and I'm just like, what they talking about?
Right.
They're still consistent 1 week, every week, and then I'm like, you know what, bro? Let me jump back in. You know what's crazy? Remember when all the FUD happened and Frisky wanted to leave? I wasn't playing at that time, and Frisky was like, he made the vote for him to step down. Bro, I remember getting on Twitter.
Oh my god!
Furiously typing about why is DFK the only community that fuds their own bags to the ground? I never, bro. There is. All right, so everybody has the joke about Cardano holders. I don't want to offend anybody, but like, there's so many teams and so many communities that will literally bag hold, and they will literally push about how their token is going to be with nothing to show for it.
Nothing to show for it.
But DFK people will literally be in the ecosystem with like hundreds, thousands, millions of dollars, and they will literally, the FUD on DFK from like, I'm talking about Twitter people with like, that their whole Twitter was DFK.
Right.
They fudded it into the ground. So I was just watching it like, what are you guys doing?
Into the ground. 99% of the ecosystem or more left.
Bro, like even through all the harmony hacks and all the BS, Jewel could have definitely still been over $1.
We totally could have been.
It could have been over $1. Like, it got dumpster flooded, and I don't understand. Like, I don't know. It's like, I think it's like something. A lot of those players are out of the game now, but it was something back then. It's like, it was like the DFK community had like such a self-sabotage mentality in it. I didn't understand it. It was so weird.
And that's why I'm so vicious to like protect it.
Yeah.
Because the FUD is always, and here's what the FUD was. A lot of times, I still hear it to this day. Like, not literally today, I didn't hear any FUD, but like, there's even still people in the ecosystem still that will say things like they develop too slow. The speed of development is really slow. And they'll say the team doesn't listen to community feedback. Yeah, I mean, seriously.
It's crazy.
And they're dead serious. Like, I'm like, how long have you been in crypto? Oh, this was, they're new to crypto. Always. Because just like you said, you go and do the ticket. That's what you do. If you want to ask Hubert, something, you do a ticket. All right. And he ain't ever going to respond.
That's what I'm saying. We're so spoiled.
You get zero response ever to anything. Okay. Unless it's Sandbox, maybe a rock. So, okay. So we are spoiled. And it was so funny. I thought earlier I was sharing my screen, but I wasn't. Like, what the heck is wrong with me, man? Like, I was showing stuff, and when I was looking at the pets, was that on screen?
Yes, that was when when it was the double rare.
The stones and doing stuff, thinking you guys could see it. I just realized, nope. Oh, okay. So, man, we are brothers. We are absolute brothers
from another mother. Man, I love how passionate you are about the game. You know why? Because if somebody wants to come into the game, it's like they're gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, "Y'all gotta jump in." Like, who said that? Who said that yesterday? I think on that stream with Beef, he was like, "Don't do the research. We already did it for you." Bro, that was the best slogan of all time. Everybody always talks about NFA, not financial advice. No, it is financial advice. We did the research for you. Like, that was so funny.
Beef's pitch, man, that like won the day. And Rock's pitch, those two pitches won the day. That was hilarious.
That was the best DFK forum content that I've ever seen, only because it was just a bunch of different panels of opinions. And I like that. I like when everybody has different opinions, because then I can get alpha from everywhere. I like the alpha that's through just random conversation. Like, even I remember Mosh was talking about something, and he was talking about how he likes to minimize the amount of money he puts into the ecosystem and basically just keep the furnace burning by building heroes and selling it.
Yes, and that's because he's tight on funds.
Because he's really good. He's really good at that. So I just took that and I was like, okay, let me apply this theory to what I've been doing, because I basically was putting in money since I got back in May, and I basically stopped. And I was like, when that last summoning event, I basically was like, you know what? Let me basically sell the Gen 0 that I won from duels, and basically use that to basically fund my summons for this event. So that's kind of, and it's just small little alpha. When he said it like that, he probably didn't notice it. But it's just certain little stuff. I like to pick up on little stuff and then just apply it.
Yeah, man. Good. That's good. Yeah.
Is this the hero with the 100%?
Like, Crypto Baby H just sent the Sage. What is that? What is this?
Is this the one with 100%?
Oh,
check the stat growth. Is this the 100% stat growth?
99%.
99. There's one with 100, I think. Is it cool?
I know there definitely is. I heard about it. There is one with 100%. And I think I've even seen it.
Is this greater stoned? Because I think the greater stone is how you hit 100.
Right. You got to hit the greater stone plus the blue stat.
The blue stat, yeah.
You know what? That'll be 101. So a regular stone gives you 5 to the, I think it's 5. I can double check here. So a regular stone hitting the blue stat would do it. No, just a regular stone, because he's 90%. So then you got to hit, maybe it is the greater. I think
it's a greater.
Or wait.
Or it could be a level 10. It could be a level 10 with the the percent at level 10 that you get with the tier boost.
Yeah, with the tier boost. It's got to have a tier boost.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's a greater stone. Wow, 3 wolves, baby. I've been chatting with him. I was chatting with Stronghold today, baby. And he's got his website up. He's about to go out of town, like on vacation. And so he's like stressing it. He's all stressing out. It's funny. Like if the green eggs come out while he's on vacation, he's like bringing his laptop and he's like seriously stressed out about it. So like, just relax. It's okay. You know, if there's a couple day delay on our green pets.
He has expert, right? He's expert.
He's so into it, but he'll be coming on the show to talk pets too. He's super bullish. I love it. Okay. So yeah, and we have to have the Hubert Rolodex, like you said.
Needs to.
Man.
So much information. Even if you look at PvP discussion, Hubert has said a lot of things about PvP that hasn't been mentioned on the AMA. Even Workhorse has said a lot of things about PvP. Like Hubert has gave a lot of alpha on the block mechanic, evasion, how evasion is going to work, how agility is going to play into evasion. There's a bunch of alpha in the PvP discussion Discord that nobody really, except if you're there, you don't know. That's why Wowie knows a bunch more stuff than ever, because he's talking. Matty Pesk is in there talking to Workhorse, and they're in there all day talking to Workhorse and talking to Hubert and asking them questions, and they're willing to give answers. You just have to ask the right questions. Yeah. Because now they're in the. I know PvP is close, and I know we're basically probably going to get a beta within the next 30 days because they're answering all the stuff that before they said I can't really answer that yet. And if you answer, there's barely anything that they'll kind of answer the questions if you ask them. So, yeah.
So, right. Yeah, man. I can't wait to get Wowie back in the house. Oh.
Yeah, Wowie the superstar, man.
Oh, my gosh. So awesome. Wow. It's been an hour and a half.
Yeah, hour and a half. It is late. I'm not going to lie. It is late. I looked it up and I was like, okay, this is kind of crazy.
Elisha, you still up? How are you doing? Dang. Okay, so what else as far as reckless speculation, as we call it, in the ecosystem? It's just everything up. Because
all the items up.
Because, yeah. So
materials.
Back to okay, so when PvP comes out, not Quest, the Alchemist. Okay. So we're going to have lots of this stuff. We're going to want the health file, all this stuff to the moon. We're going to want
mana.
I mean, yeah.
Health and mana for sure.
Okay. And
that's 100% gonna. I think health and mana for sure.
Yeah.
100% health is going to be on every squad.
Right. So Shimmer Skin is on a lot of these, man. Shimmer Skin is in the stamina potion. It's in the mana. This is Shimmer Skin. It's in the health. Whoa.
Shimmer Skin.
Shimmer Skin might become like
a hot commodity because it is a rare drop from fishing, right?
Yeah, dude.
It's a rare drop. Isn't it a low percentage from fishing?
Yeah, same as Swift Thistle. So Swift Thistle is so in demand for a few reasons. I mean, for one, okay, wait. So, but Shimmer Skin is in both realms, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Both realms. So that helps on the drop rates.
Mm-hmm.
So, whereas Swift Thistle isn't, but goodness, look at all. And look, okay, so Spider Fruit there is Spider. Where else is Spider Fruit? Because, okay, no Spider Fruit.
No Spider Fruit is in stamina potions, and it's speculation that it will be for the gardening.
The eggs, to hatch the eggs. Talk and about liquidity crunch and also milkweed. So anything that's in the stamina potions are going to be the number one commodity to have in the game, I think. These stamina. So once PvP, so after tiers are going to the moon, once we have Profession 10 level quest, pet hatching, all that, tiers are going to go bonkers, gold bonkers. But also, to open those eggs, we're going to have, I'm guessing Spider Fruit could be milkweed, but I'm guessing maybe not milkweed and the blue stem instead. So blue stem's going to pump from that. But then after all that, we got profession 10 level questing. We've hashed a zillion eggs. We're out of tiers. No more tiers in the ecosystem, except every day what we quest we can use, and then tiers keep going bye-bye every day from doing all the summoning, the hatching, the vials. These vials are going to consume tiers out of our minds. Like tiers, sayonara tiers, goodbye. They just literally will not be any. Literally, we'll be questing, getting our tiers, and then we can use them.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to get to that. And so if you don't want to do combat, but you still want to profit, you could sell those off, you know. But anyone who's in combat, doing combat, you're going to be questing and then being able to use the tiers that you got that day for combat, for these potions. So every day, those tiers are just going to be burning away. So all those eggs are just going to burn away all the tiers.
Pretty much.
Eggs. Okay, so then once combat gets going, the commodities are going to be what's in these potions. It's primarily in the stamina potions. So shimmer skin, swift thistle, darkweed, which is also required for the gray eggs. Of course, milkweed, I think, is going to start being a premium again one day. But again, this isn't going to come until the actual demand comes.
Before PvP comes, because we don't have an ecosystem that has enough money in it to front run like they used to.
Right.
Before, if any mention of something would happen on an AMA, the whole floor would get immediately swept. The last time we seen the floor get swept for something like that after an AMA was dark summoning. Dark summoning was the best thing to happen to the DFK ecosystem. If you really notice how much the tavern lacked activity before dark summoning, it literally it brought the hero price up almost double.
Yeah.
It brought up other random heroes, because rare heroes people are buying just to summon. It brought up paladins, dark knights. It brought up sages, dragoons. It brought up every single thing. Dark summoning was the best thing. I think dark summoning might be DFK's best event because it single-handedly saved the tavern. The tavern had barely any activity before. If you look at I know somebody has a metric of this, but the tavern activity before dark summoning and after is probably like 2 to 3x. And then now,
that's awesome.
And then with all the speculation of, it's not even speculation because it's coming. It's Q1 for PvP.
It's Q1 unless there's a delay. Which
there's of course could be delays, but there is no longer like, oh, PvP might come. No, PvP is coming.
It's coming.
It's not coming. Like a speculation. Like I don't think that's speculation. Is like maybe this PvP is coming. You know, you will have to use potions in PvP.
Yeah.
So it's not like speculation. It's just whether or not the money catches up. The ecosystem of money, which is what's going to happen. Once Jewel pumps, people are going to take their profits. They're going to dump it back into Crystal and Jade because they're going to use the power token to build up whatever they want. And that's how it cycles. It's just like in other ecosystems, when for AVAX, let's say AVAX, because we're on AVAX, right? When Avalanche pumps, it pumps into other things on that ecosystem. When Ethereum pumps, it pumps into other things on that ecosystem. That's just how it works. So when Jewel pumps, it's going to pump into Crystal, it's going to pump into Jade, it's going to pump into the items, it's going to push up everything else.
All of it. I've never been so bullish on anything in my life as I am on this ecosystem.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, great. The shock wave that's coming. Now, for the rest of this month, who knows? Big whales that are hanging on to, there's some whale out there, I think, that bought up like 700,000 tiers or something, like a little while back.
Oh, that's Ben. He has a bunch of tiers. Yeah, he has a bunch of tiers.
Yeah, smart man.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
He was trying to sell them before the super explosion.
Oh, see, I bought up 100,000.
And I think he held on to them, and he was trying to sell them before they exploded recently. I think he was trying to sell them at least when they were like half of this price.
Wow, but he didn't.
I don't think. I'm sure he sold off some, but
I did. I bought 100,000 in August when Hubert announced that there's an 80% reduction of tiers in Crystalvale. but then they just didn't do anything for months, and I ended up using them and selling them off. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like, dude, I'm pretty sure. So I could totally be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I went in and literally put in, I came to the DEX. Here's what I did. Let me show you. Let me show you guys. All right. So hang on. It was in Serendale 1.0, not 2.0. But if you go, there's more liquidity. Okay. Not on Clayton, but on the DFK chain. Okay. And then you come here to the DEX. Okay. Marketplace, to the trader. Here we are. And I'm pretty sure here's what I did. I put in tiers. Okay. And I wish I could remember the price, but I'm almost sure I put in 100,000 tiers, and it was like 73 Joule. I'm not kidding.
That's insane.
And whatever it was, I just remember being mind blown, and I just hit buy the day Hubert announced that.
It was cheap. It was cheap.
And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, tiers have just become worthless. And I thought they had become so worthless that even at the 80% reduction, that I guess they'll just stay worthless forever. I don't even know why. I was just getting hard up for cash to buy Gen Zeros or whatever, starting to freak out that I'm losing money. And so from, if it really was 73 Joule, or maybe it was like 173 Joule.
It could have been 73. It wasn't a lot. Tiers were super cheap. There was a pump. All right, so there was the DFK Twitter community and on Twitter where they have like the little subsection in the communities where people are in there. There was a guy that talked about buying tiers, and people used to laugh at him talking about tiers. And he posted it when tiers, like maybe when tiers were half this price, he posted like, yo, I made like 4,000 Joule or something like that off of these tiers. And he posted it in the DFK communities. I remember when he talked about buying tiers, it was like maybe June or May, June. It was like maybe June. And tiers had like 2x or 3x in like a month, but nothing crazy because they were already very, very small. It was like 0.000000. It was like something like that. So they had done like a 2x and 3x since probably that announcement of Hubert saying that.
Well, that was in August when I did it.
Okay, that was in August. Okay.
And then I came onto the show and was like hollering about
it,
telling everybody that the tiers, an 80% reduction. But we just saw it. We didn't see it do much. And so I just kind of thought, man, I guess the ecosystem is so over flooded with tiers that
dark summoning helped, man.
Dark summoning, that's another thing. Like
two back-to-back events.
Yes. So let's come back to that. So I could see myself someday wanting just to get the rarity bonuses. Is so the hardest part in this game is the rarity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest thing. It's harder than getting a Dread Knight or a Transcendent Exalted trait ability. So, and even legendaries, like legendaries and mythics, those two.
The thing about legendaries now, though, with dark summoning, you can basically, that's what people are doing. So, like you got guys like Baka, Bob the Great, a bunch of people, you know what I'm saying? Beast One. They do the rare dread with a mythic basic hero, and they try to get an advanced ability or something like that on a mythic basic, and then they dark summon it. So you guarantee legendary floor, and then you have a 37% chance for your dread, or 33 or whatever it is. So that's like what a lot of these guys do, and they basically turn rares into. It is a risk. Don't get me wrong.
Like when you're somebody did that 8 times in a row and didn't get a single.
That was Beast One on the day of dark summoning. He did it. I think he was like 0 for 8 or something like that. Crazy.
Because
that's just negative variance, like you talk about.
Yeah, he had a 37.5% chance 8 times in a row and missed 8 times in a row. It's wild. Yeah, it's gambling. So I just couldn't do it, right? Because I've got stones and crystals and all these heroes.
Yeah.
So it was like pulling teeth to dark summon. But I think at some point, I could see myself just trying to get that freaking Mythic Dread Knight Transcendent.
It is gambling, don't get me wrong, Etienne, but the thing about it is that is kind of what the new meta is right now, to put transcendence on dreads. You
Yeah.
basically take a dread and you take a transcendent ability
Yep.
hero and you dark summon it. That's what everybody's kind of doing. That's the new meta. Like, and don't get me wrong, it is, to an extent, it is gambling, but you're basically maximizing your odds for the dread to hit, and you're maximizing your odds for the transcendent transfer. So
that's right. And so if you have a bunch, generally speaking, if you've got 10 and you do that with all 10 pairs of Dread Knights and Mythic heroes, you're going to hit at least three Dread Knights in that scenario, and you'll have better rarity as well.
Yeah, if odds are in your favor.
That's right. And so now I wish if they didn't. Okay, so the big bummer for me, I feel like, so yes, I agree that dark summoning is awesome, but I don't think we could have had so much more dark summon.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about how giving like a boost for stones.
Well, so there's that. But I think Hubert said it wasn't in the code,
the contracts.
So he wasn't sure there's a way to even look at the crystals and stones, but now there is. So that's cool. Okay. And then where does it? I thought this spot. Okay. So deaths. Okay. We're at 40,000. I really think, okay. One of the things that I thought was broken here, and let me see if you have any pushback. Okay. Is when you come to the Dark Summoner and you let's throw in a rare and a rare versus a rare and a legendary, and look at the difference between the rarity chances. So if you throw in two rares and we look at the rarity chances, okay, a Mythic 2.75%.
Yeah.
But you got the 100% chance or 90% chance to get the rare. So all of the entire amount of the common and uncommon percentages all were thrown into the rare. And so basically there's no rounding, right?
Yeah.
And so same chance if you do a legendary and an uncommon, it's guaranteed to get the rare. Okay, but what they could have done
is throwing it a little bit into the legendary and mythic.
Well, no, not there. I think that's fine. That's fine. Here's the part that's broken is when you throw in a legendary now, that percentage only goes from 2.75 to 3.3.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's like, and then on the legendary side, it's also, I think, less than 1%.
That's like a 0.6% increase.
Right. So you're basically getting rugged by never do this. Like, it just never makes sense ever to me to ever do this. Never round it down on the rarity. Okay. Yeah. So, but what would have made sense is if instead of see, it's all just on the rare. The other one was 90%. This is 89%. Like, it's all that just what should have happened. You should get rewarded a little bit more by throwing away a legendary in this scenario. So they
want you to do legendary and legendary. That's why
that's fine. That's fine. That part isn't, I'm not saying that's broken, even though, okay. And then you throw on the summons.
Okay. That does increase it a lot though.
That does.
But look at how much tiers you have to use. You have to use almost 150. What is that?
400. 400.
How much is 400 tiers? Is that like 100 crystal worth of tiers? Something like that?
No, it's more. So
let me check. Tiers.
50. Okay. 400 tiers is about 100 crystal. Yes.
Yeah. So about 100 crystal worth of tiers just to boost the 10%, which is, I think it's probably, if you go rare and do the 10% boost, you could probably go put rare. Is that
Okay.
a legendary?
Yeah, this is rare legendary, and it's only about a 1% difference. So if it's rare, your chances of getting a rare is 82% instead of 83%. But I'll just show you.
That's pretty good odds, because if you add up the legendary and mythic odds, you basically end up having like a 17% chance to get a legendary or mythic. When you look at it like that, it's better than looking at it as an 83% chance to get a rare.
Yeah.
So this is almost a 15% chance to get a legendary or mythic.
Right.
You know, it's like glass half empty, half full. You know what I'm saying?
This is pretty good.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, this is pretty good. But
I've never really thought of using the 10 out of 10 rares, but honestly, it might not be that bad, because you might want to boost. You know, when people do the dread and the mythic, so people do the rare dread with the mythic, but they just buy a floor mythic or mythic with an advanced.
Right.
But you might want to buy a mythic 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then pump the. I think that was somebody. It wasn't me. He talked about that, buying the 10 out of 10 mythic to pump it, because I think Ben Friend wants to get a mythic sage, and he was talking about how he would best go about doing that.
I wish this had 10 out of 10, but if it does have 4, okay, so then if I max that out, now we're at 5.69% chance. See, it's such a small chance.
It's small, but those are the hits. We never had an opportunity to really hit this before. That's why you see there was only like 2 or 3 mythic dreads before dark summoning, and there's like 15 now or something.
Oh yeah. So on a macro level, it's added way more.
Yeah, it's like quadrupled or something like that.
This makes sense also because it guarantees the legendary. So the biggest benefit by a mile is the rarity floor.
Yes.
So that's why you never want to round down. But what they could have done was, when there is a round down, okay, and you're losing a ton when you have to round down.
Oh, that was Skiller. Okay.
You're losing so much when you have to round down. Oh. So never round down.
Yeah, never.
That's the number one benefit in dark summoning, is the rarity floor. Even more than the rarity boost, by just think about, it's like by a factor of 10, by far the largest bonus of dark summoning is the rarity floor. So never round down.
Yeah.
But if they could have made a way to where the round down part of it, yes, you can still hit, like if you summon a rare and a legendary together, they could have taken a little bit from that round down and put it into the legendary category, where you're still probably going to get a rare, but at least you're getting some kind of benefit to burn the legendary, because as of right now, there's no benefit really. You're getting zero benefit whatsoever out of dark summoning if you're rounding down. You're literally throwing away the entire benefit of even doing it, except that if you've got crap heroes that you just want to burn, that are out of summons, that's nice, that we can at least summon the guys again.
Man, I know people that dark summon, like people like me. I dark summon just to clean house, clean house. I don't do it. Sometimes I just get bored, and I'm just I just want to throw something in the pit, you get that itch, man. It's
but guess what? That's not going to be happening anymore, because these floor heroes are so valuable.
Yeah, that is a big deal. I'm not gonna lie, because it's the floor heroes are so valuable, but also it helped a lot, because there's a lot of people that they'll dark summon something, get a dud, and then now you get back 60 crystal for a dud now. Before you used to get back only 30 crystal, so you're getting back 60 crystal. You're getting back enough crystal to buy a stone and summon again, because of how much the floor is. So the floor being up has helped the whole ecosystem. Like,
oh man. And we haven't, it hasn't even begun yet, people. It hasn't even begun. The pump has not even started.
not
yet.
even close.
It's not, because we don't have the real, it's still speculate. We're still just speculating. But as long as the game hits and it's fun to play, and that, you know, that when the egg hatching comes, of course, that's going to go bonkers. But when in profession 10 level quest, because then, so having first mover advantage on high level heroes, huge. Agreed?
Yes, agreed.
High level heroes, floor is going to get swept up once PvP comes. Now, to answer, who was it? Skiller or somebody was asking if you have two, you know, a team of level 10s, I won't be going against a team of level 20s. And the answer is, I don't think so. I think a big part of duels, Frisky Fox did the matchmaking and stuff in duels, is totally a precursor for combat. I mean,
Yeah.
he said that, I think, one time.
They will. This is what I'm. There potentially will be brackets, and they will probably close them, but they won't close them at an exact level. So they'll probably have something like level 1 to 3, level 4 to 6, level 7 to 9, level 10 to 12. They might have something bracket like that, or they might have a bracket max level 3, max level 6, max level 9, max level. They might have something like that, because we also don't have a crazy player base yet to where if they started closing brackets, like really closing them and locking them out, you might be queuing. If you're playing right now, it's 2 a.m. You might be trying, let's say I want to go PvP right now. I might be in a queue for like 20, 30 minutes because I'm trying to find somebody in my bracket.
Yeah, in your bracket. Yeah.
So it might be hard to like really lock the brackets out to an average team level of, like, if your average hero level was 40, it might be hard to make it only 40. You might have to open the brackets a little bit more and to like average team level 35 to 45. So it might, so there, that's what there's potential for. I don't know how they're going to do it, if it's going to be based off of an elo system, if it's going to be based off of brackets, but I'm sure they will do something with the matchmaking to make it fair and fun for everybody.
Yeah.
But that's also why my theory is that PvP it's very competitive. In a game where money dictates how much better your heroes are, it's hard to really kind of balance that perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
I know the team will do a good job of it, but it's like, it's going to take a lot of patches and nerfs and changes in matchmaking, and people might not be happy day one. It might take a week, it might take 2 weeks, it might take months.
Yeah.
And for them to get it perfect, because
yeah, for sure.
If something is exploitable, like if there's, so like for example, I have a theory about the level 1 bracket, but the level 1 bracket has flaws too, because you can, if you summon a mythic, if you have a team of mythics level 1, you're never going to level it up if you can just maximize the rewards in the level 1 bracket. So it just comes down to the balancing, and I think they're going to do a good job of it. It's just going to take some time. It's going to take feedback, and
yeah. And so I think, you know, dark summoning is going to stop here for a while, but once PvP comes back and we're trying to build our perfect team and get our perfect set of heroes, it is such an advantage, even though small. But this, like this summon right here, this summon, if I'm maxing out these summons, is at least double the chance, or that's maybe even almost triple the chance to hit on a mythic. Okay. And so there's going to be people using this feature purely because the whole reason why this came up is because the most valuable part of the game, from what I can see, and maybe the Mythic squad could come on here and disagree, but from what I'm seeing right now, the most valuable part of the game of the hero is the rarity because of the stats. So the stats are the most crucial part of the hero. And to get the most stats is rarity bonuses. So Mythic and Legendary specifically, especially obviously Mythic, but also Legendary. Okay. And then that's why it's so important to use stones and crystals, which all of that is already pumping to the moon.
Growth score.
Yeah. Is that what?
Yeah,
And then,
to improve your growth score, your hero growth score.
Your hero growth score to get maximum number of stats.
Mm-hmm.
So then, in addition to that, we've got the traits that I also believe is obviously super important, but I would say overall that both the traits and the hero classes even are secondary to rarity.
Yes. I would say now because I think abilities still have their place. Don't get me wrong, because there's some important,
like it's the game changer.
Yeah, it's the game changer, especially passives and stuff like that, because you still have stuff that's crazy, like Second Wind and Giant Slayer. I think are probably the two best abilities in the game, besides the trans, of course. But now with how cracked the trees have been, before the PvP alpha, before we had trees, I think it was like everybody had in their mind that you kind of needed to have elite and advanced abilities. Now with the trees, you kind of looking like, if my hero doesn't have an elite or an advanced ability, I'm gonna still be able to compete. And I think before the skill trees started coming out, I think people didn't think that. I think they kind of thought that they needed to have elite and advanced abilities.
Right.
And now you can, with the skill trees being as cracked as they are, you can compete with some of these basic abilities.
And that goes also for hero classes. So
if you have the right class combination, you can compete as well.
Yeah, on basic classes or basic. The basic classes are going to be dope. Now, with that being said, it's obviously still, I feel like, going to be better to have an advanced class than it is a basic class. And it's going to be better to have the elite class than it is a basic class. And it's going to be better, of course, to have a Dread Knight.
In some cases.
Yeah, but...
In some cases.
But it's more about the stats. Because I think all the heroes are going to be so jacked. Now, with that being said, I think having the better, higher classes and with the traits to have that transcendent and those elites is a game changer, but not in comparison to having the stats.
Stats in the right place too, because you can, and also min-maxing your hero per level, because you can have a mythic.
Yeah.
And you're not using a stone on it. You have a mythic without a stone. You have a mythic and you're not leveling it properly. You're not using the proper crystals on it. And that's going to turn that mythic into a pretty terrible card in the long run. And that's where people will end up going and dark summoning it, because like I have some mythics right now that they don't have great levels on them. I have some, and I'm just thinking about, okay, I have this warrior and knight mythic. These don't have great stats on them. They're level 11, they're level 10. I can throw them in the pit with a greater stone, and then I can basically greater crystal them all the way from 1 to 11 and turn it into a way better card.
Yeah. So the awesome thing about this game, here's another awesome point. Great question.
How did it
Great question. Here's what's awesome about the game is that a small fish can come in. All you got to have is 3 bomb.com heroes. That's all you got. And then you can compete with anything.
Strategize and
buy your 3 heroes.
And try to pick up rare heroes. If you're a new player and you look at the floor, and the floor is like 60 right now, and rare hero floor is like 75. Try to get rare heroes. Spend that extra little premium for rare heroes, because rares are going to level up in the long run way better than commons, because the rarity floor for the rarity bonus, I'm getting tired. The rarity bonus for rare heroes is pretty good on the level up. That's going to help you in the long run over 100 levels.
Yes.
So if you're a new player, we don't have all the skill trees yet out yet. Right. But if you're seeing this in the future, if you're a new player, try to optimize getting a rare hero, 3 rare heroes, and then
or
picking a
legendary,
tree that
legendary even. I mean,
legendaries are pretty affordable right now too compared to floor heroes. They're only 3x the floor.
Yeah, I mean, totally legendary or even mythics. Like
mythics are a little expensive. They're like
and
they're
what
like,
you get, the difference between a mythic and a legendary, okay, versus the difference between a rare and a legendary. The legendary is significantly better than the rare.
Yes.
Whereas the mythic is better, but not as significant, like percentage wise. Okay. So I'll look at that real quick. I'm coming to the tavern. Finish your thought. Keep going.
No, but pretty much if you're gonna if you look at the tavern, a mythic is so expensive compared to a legendary. So if you're buying a rare, I think the rare floor is like around 75 or 80, right?
Is it
73?
Wow.
And a common is 60. And the difference in growth is gonna be like 20% of levels, probably, right? Something like that. At a level 100, maybe like 10% or something like that.
Holy
smokes. You're only paying 10 extra crystal?
Yeah, no brainer. Get the rare. Okay, now let's look at legendary.
Legendary, I think, is 200. 175. Legendaries are actually really good bargain for a new player right now.
Absolutely. Okay,
at 17 USD, if you're coming in and you're only trying to get 3 heroes, an army of 1.
Yeah.
You're coming in as a new player. Because remember, Axie, to play in Axie, you needed three heroes. I mean, 3 whatever, the little Axies. So 3 legendaries.
It was like $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah, it was at one point. I think the cheapest at one point was I think 800.
Right.
I think the cheapest in Axie. So if you come in, you can get 3 legendaries, or even 2 rares and 1 legendary, or even 3 rares. $25, and you can start building your team now.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's $18 for a freaking legendary. So when
legendaries have good stat growth and a good rarity bonus at level 5, 10, 15, 20.
Yeah. Holy smoke. And look.
Oh, that's a double advanced. Sitting on the floor.
With critical aim.
Somebody please go buy a double advanced legendary.
Are we going to buy that thing? Headstrong.
Somebody go buy that. Just take it off the floor, man.
Yeah, do it.
I don't want to influence the market on stuff, but that is sitting on the floor with a double advance.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And so, I always got to look back at this. So critical aim, blinding winds.
Critical aim is good.
Now again, yeah, when you come, okay, so as far as the advanced, what was it again?
It's exhaust, which is really good.
Yeah, exhaust and efficient.
You got efficient. Efficient is just mana consumption, so I don't know how good it will be on a monk, depending on how, if the monk skills take mana, which I assume it would, because monks have good wisdom and intelligence growth. But,
yeah.
But yeah, critical aim is good, and exhaust is really good.
Yeah, man. That is like, okay, efficient. Yeah. Reduce the man. But this actually could be OP.
Yes, at higher levels and at scale. This, I think if you can get a double efficient on like a freaking mage, yes, a few rare and above for gameplay. I'm taking floor heroes for tiers. Yeah.
Yeah. Coolio, my man. Love you, baby. Hey, I would start, because we have hit on that a lot. And if you didn't see the video from last night, man, this is like a continuation. Yeah. Good. This is good for, so I would, if it's me, I'm at least coming in here. If I'm brand new and I've got a small wallet, I can afford, I mean, if I can't at least afford a couple $100,
if you're coming with $100, that's what I kind of say for now. You can come into this ecosystem with $100 and make something shake. You can make something shake with $100.
Like if you're real serious about competing, though, I mean, you got to at least be willing to pony up $100 or $200. You know, like little kids do that, saving up their lunch money to buy a video game.
Yeah, $100. $100 can get you 3 legendaries and like 6 rares.
Yeah. Okay, and then
you got that's 3 different teams.
Okay, that's
about $80.
$80. Okay, I see. So $200 could basically get you a team of 3 mythics. Then you got your PvP team. Boom.
Yeah, if you want to go that route and you want to pony up a little bit extra, that's gonna stand true the test of times. Yeah, the mythics will be the way to go. But I just think the legendaries are just so much more value. If you're speaking of value and like affordability,
yeah,
I think that. But if you're trying to be more serious, oh, it might be tainted. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. But yeah, check that monk if it's tainted. I didn't even.
Okay, I'll check it right. I mean, there's often a way that you know right away.
Oh, somebody bought it.
Oh, it's gone, baby.
Let me check the tavern. I do not hope. I hope it's not tainted. Hold on. Let me check the.
Well, see, they got the badge on there.
No, but that new summons. Okay, wait, was it? Okay, it wasn't tainted. That's good.
Okay,
yeah.
So a lot of times the way you can also tell is when you check the recessives and you see a transcendent in the recessives.
Yeah.
And then you look at the gen, and it's not like a dark summoned hero. It's very unlikely that that's legit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the badge doesn't update right away anymore. So
it doesn't.
You have to check the Discord.
The badge comes later. And here's another thing. The badge, it doesn't necessarily mean the hero's tainted. It just means that either in the genes, okay, either in these main genes, the dominant genes here, or if in the recessive genes, any of them is tainted, it will have the badge. But if that recessive gene was never passed through, it'll still be good.
Is that confirmed though?
Well, pretty much confirmed. Because, like, for example, I summoned, I summoned with a tainted hero. Okay. And then it didn't even hit anyways. But what did pass down was like out here in the, it was like the recessive 3.
Yeah.
Has, and it's, I got a dragoon. So it mutated into a dragoon, and the dragoon hit, and I didn't know it was tainted.
Yeah.
And it might have an advanced, maybe has an advanced, but I'm nearly certain it didn't come from the tainted. But the reason why it has the badge is because when you look at the recessive genes, in the recessive 3, it had a tainted gene.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm from the understanding that they said that all of them are going to be re-rolled, but I know some people. That's from what the team supposedly has said. I think Zipper said that everything with a badge is going to be re-rolled in the future.
Okay, so Zipper said that.
I think from what I know from what people have been saying is that's why some people are upset, but I don't know. I don't know for sure yet. And that's why I do want more information on that, because we still have these badges out. We don't really know. You got people buying stuff with badges, and so that's also kind of, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen if you basically are building a hero with an ability not from the tainted recessive area.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So definitely the difference between the common and the rare is an absolute, even if you're just buying floor heroes, holy smokes, pay an extra
15 crystal for the premium.
15 crystal, which is $1.50, and get the rare.
Yeah.
Okay. And then for combat right here, man, that is, especially that one that just got bought up. Dang.
So, yeah, because even that legendary, right? You could dark summon that legendary monk with something, right? And it has 2 advanced abilities. So you could dark summon it. You could dark summon it with a pirate legendary and go for like a double advanced ninja rarity floor with a legendary rarity floor.
So. Yeah. So revisiting again. Okay. I definitely think it's so when you're summoning with your Gen Zeros, for example. I mean, there are different strategies. That's true. Different strategies
Stone.
here. But always use a stone and also always try and get the maximum number of mutations in both the abilities and, of course, in the class. Okay.
Yes.
Because I think that's like my number one focus is building that tree of summoning where you get the mutations, you get the advanced class, you get the elite class, and you get the dread knights. It's so huge for PvP. Huge for PvP, without question. Also, with the abilities, with the traits, it's huge for PvP, without question. But the dominant factor for PvP, those are secondary compared to the stats.
So you believe stats is number one. You believe stats, then trait, then class, and yeah. So you say stat, trait, class.
I would say stats and then traits and class are tied.
Well, you say rarity first. So you say rarity,
Right.
stat, trait.
Well, rarity and stats go hand in hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying rarity and stats hand in hand.
So stats. So that's where the crystals come in and are so valuable for PvP and PvE, for everything, for Fight Club, for whatever.
Yeah.
The stats. It's all about maximum number of stats. Getting the maximum, use the stones and crystals, especially on PvP heroes, and PvE heroes too. I think all of it.
I agree.
That's my thoughts. So pushback. I'm saying that so people might disagree.
No, I agree. I think in terms of rarity, I don't put so much stock in rarity past. There is a difference between mythic heroes and legendary and stuff like that. But if you have, if you have like a rare with elite abilities, then I would take a rare with a certain elite ability. Like I would take a rare. All right, last stand is the elite ability I'm not really a fan of because I also don't know what invulnerable means. If you can't do a move while you're invulnerable and you just can't take damage, I'm not really a fan of that because somebody could purposely put you into an invulnerable state just to stop you from like doing something if they know you're at a certain amount of HP. And if you can't do anything, if you're just like in a shell protected and you can't even do a move that turn, I'm not really a fan of that. So if you had this move on like a, I don't know, like a legendary hero, I would rather have my rare hero with Giant Slayer than a legendary hero with Last Stand. Because for me, I don't want for somebody to basically just put me in a state where I can't do a move for that turn. But we also don't know if invulnerable means you could do a move and you can't be hit, or if you just can't do a move at all.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like we're coming to the point where I know what you mean, but it's certain things that I would want on certain heroes.
That's right. So that's why I think these things are still an absolute game changer.
Yeah.
But as like a foundation, the foundational piece to the hero, it's just what the more I think about this, the rarity and those stats. Now, I was also thinking, okay, you could have a perilous journey common hero, for example, and there might be other perilous journey things that come. And you could just have weird variants. You know, like sometimes it's like a hero's cursed. Every time he levels up, he gets 3 or 4 stats, even when you use crystals. It's weird.
Yeah.
Okay. And other times, you know, one time I did a level up and got 17 stats, not counting the rare. There was no rarity bonus in that. So I hit all 8, okay, of the primary class. And I hit 6 out of 8 on the secondary class, and I hit all 3 and hit 17 stats.
Crazy.
Okay, and that was no rarity bonus. And so you think about it, every 5 levels, let's just say a legendary, for example, you're getting 7. So when you're born, you get 7 extra stats, right? When you're born, right off the bat, 7 extra stats, plus the stone, plus the tiers. Okay. Then at level 5, so every 5 levels, it's 7 extra stats.
6 to 10, I think, right? For legendary? Or is
Legendary is exactly 7 every time.
Okay, 7.
Yeah, it's like those numbers are always fixed, which is interesting. There's no RNG with rarity. It's 2 with uncommon, 4 for rare, 7 for legendary, and 10 for mythic. Okay. So there could be another RNG on a rare hero. I mean, or on an uncommon rare.
Yeah. To match a legendary.
You're matching a legendary especially if you're using crystals and the other guy isn't or something. And you could have like a perilous journey thrown in there, and there might be another perilous journey, and he comes back alive, and now this guy's he got another 15 stats extra.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I know what you mean, why you value legendaries and mythics, but because of growth score and RNG, that's the reason why I don't know if I value it as much. But if you want to guarantee yourself, and with variance, you guarantee yourself, you do want the legendaries and the mythics, and that's what people are going for now. Like, look at the hero I just posted. The ID numbers 17360. This hero is a perilous journey survivor, and that hero is pretty, like, it is very well balanced for a common hero. And it's just when you think about, I have some other level 12s, and I'm like, because this is PJ, and those extra 15 stats really make that hero really good. So
interesting. I'm gonna take a look here.
So I understand what you mean by the PJ. That extra 15 stats is a lot. Yeah. And that's why you see a lot of PJs don't really have stones. Were stones used back then?
No, they didn't even have them.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I love how this now shows 9-dwarf baby. It shows like your total stats. Look, yeah. What level is he?
He's level 12.
Okay, solid.
But he's a common.
Yeah, baby.
So he's pretty solid for a common. Like,
solid. And is he perilous journey?
Yeah, he's PJ'd.
Okay, that's why.
That's
solid. And I've got a couple very similar.
Average stat per level is 9.8 on a common. Look at that. Average stat gain per level.
9.8. That's because of the perilous journey.
Yeah, and then you look at the RNG only stat gain, which disregards perilous journey. Disregards it disregards perilous journey. Because it says, or stats from special events. It does not include rarity bonus or stats from special events. So that's a common that has gained 8.7 per level. That's good RNG to get almost 9 stats per level.
Dude, dope.
That's
what do you think, buddy?
So,
buddy, dude.
So yeah, let's we've been going for 2 hours, so I'm gonna just closing thoughts. I'm gonna say that if you maximize crystals, min-max your heroes with stones on when you're summoning them, maximize your levels, pay attention to your green and blues, pay attention to your growth score, the growth score on the stat, and use the proper crystal, you can turn common, uncommon, and rare heroes into monsters over the course of level 10s and 20s. So, and your hero will actually be really good. But if you lack, you have to decide early at level 1. You have to decide in the summoner, in the portal, you have to decide, am I making this hero to be PvP, or am I making this hero to be a profession quester only, or PvE? Because remember, PvE is combat as well. So you kind of gonna want that hero to be good as well. So you have to decide, if this hero is gonna be PvE or PvP, it's crunch time. Use that stone, decide whether or not you're gonna use crystals on it. I think lesser crystals for rare pluses. If you don't have a lot of heroes, let's say you're small wallet and you have like 10 heroes, you should be using crystals on all of them. I think so. If you have a big wallet, rares only get the lesser crystals, and mythics get the graders if you can, or regulars, and legendaries get the regulars if you can past level, let's say 5.
Yeah.
So
Or at least for now.
for now,
but let's say in 2 months, heroes go back up to $200. That's a game changer.
Yeah.
That's a game. But now, we might turn out looking at all this, and all of us who stuck with this, we might turn back and look back at this, and the curse that we've been under for the last year, all right, might turn out just to be a blessing, and we have true blue 1000x potential. I mean, not in heroes, I don't think 1000x, but with Jewel,
yeah,
with the heroes, I could see the heroes pump right on back up to where they used to be.
I could see in the short term heroes going to their heroes are like what 6 USD floor. I could see heroes going to 15 USD floor first, then 50, then 100.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Zabu's going live. Yeah. So
we've been on 2 hours and a half, man.
Yeah, man. And I got to hang with my kiddo. Zabu, I'm going to jump on with him. I had this one already planned. He asked me to come on tonight, and I was with my son. I need to get back to him, but look at this. He's even got his Twitch up. Okay. So love you guys.
All right.
There's
Peace,
so
man.
much more to even talk about. That's what's crazy.
It is so much more, but I'm tired. I'm stumbling my words.
I know, right? My brain is shutting down.
Yeah, mine is too. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, so it's just crazy because I feel like we could talk about so much more still.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover, but I appreciate you really having me on. I appreciate it a lot, man.
Anytime. I love you.
My
Crypto
man.
Grady and Aphectz out. I love you guys.
Peace out. Bullish.
Crypto Baby H, baby. Tomorrow night with Crypto Baby H. Aphectz is doing a giveaway.